Welcome back, everybody, to session 4 of Crypt of the Elephant. We last left our uh, travelers in a forgotten sandy tomb, haunted by what seems like salty and desiccated mummies, clad in their wrappings of mummification, as well as some arms and armor and other burial garb from a previous era. Clearly, these individuals, these ancestor spirits, so to speak, have been dead for quite some time. Not possibly not prominent enough to be buried in a proper ziggurat, as would be the Yaith fashion, but in a countryside tomb, half choked with sand. We have a gloomy, torch lighted view of a tomb antechamber, with a great sarcophagi, half painted, brightly colored, and encrusted with lapis lazulis, on its half opened lid. One of our number is grievously injured, and our companion Gree is currently tending to him. I'll make you roll for it, but I'll just say that you guys have stabilized him, and he's pretty he's pretty great. He's feeling pretty awesome. It tickled. It very much tickled when he got stabbed with that knife. Nadim is a short few paces away, seeing over things. Gree, would you describe your character as well as what you're currently doing as you wrap up what procedure Zarok needs?
Sure. Yes, Gree is a young Yathite, anywhere between 17 and 19 years old. Very short and slim. He's about 5'6" and just kind of wiry muscles. He's got short-cut black hair, and currently with the disarray of tending to going on with what happened last night, and then tending to the trauma today. He's got blood on him, although it's currently not his. But he is dressed in a very simple clothes, the Aethite clothes that were purchased. Thank you very much for everybody who contributed to my sleeping mat, which got destroyed, and also my clothes. And other than that, he's got a shield nearby and a cudgel that he had picked up somewhere after losing all of his equipment, which stung very much for him, because as the apothecary of the group, he lost a lot of important and dire things on that journey. So currently, he was very shocked with the salt mummies, and kind of lost his mind a little bit. And then as we were recovering from that, he had another shock of meeting a young Gorgon girl, and realizing that the very detailed statues in the other chamber probably weren't statues. And actually working on Zarak and the trauma snapped him back to reality. So this is what I do. I'm in the moment now, and I'm back to, this situation that we're dealing with. Although I, in the back of my mind, have a lot of questions about Gorgons.
Zarok, as Gree is mending you, what describe your character for us. How's it going, my brother?
Well, um, well, with the basics, his Talishite appearance and his black hair with the blue stripe, down the beard and the middle. His body covered in the coarse hair, currently coarse hair and blood mingled together, creating an icky sticky mess here, where his armor probably got a little well, I don't know if it got damaged, but it certainly didn't do its damn job. It's there's a mess to be cleaned up here, and um he's Zarak is wondering why this keeps happening to him. This is the second time in maybe as many chains that he's received quite a wound, and he's doubting himself a little bit in his age. He's around his 30th year, and he survived this long, so he's like, I should be better at this. I've survived this long, but I'm really not making a good show of myself here. And he's resolved to get better at this, because this is embarrassing and painful.
Nadim, tell us what's been going on.
Nadim is, well, at the moment, he probably just got done. After taking care of that last salt mummy, he probably just got done relighting the torches they have available. Probably putting a couple in the doorway so they have light, so this doesn't happen again, because ambushes aren't fun. And he is quickly realizing he does not like mummies. He really doesn't like mummies. They do not belong here. They're supposed to be in the ground, their soul elsewhere. They should not exist. He doesn't like them. He's doing many fervent prayers to Ereshkigal. As for Nadim himself, he is a Thoranean. He's standing pretty average height. I mean, somewhere between like the 5'9", 5'10" range. Currently, he is still pretty much swathed in that loose cloth that he wears that serves as cloak, cowl, and hood. So there's very little of him to see, because as he said once, he said it a million times: to be seen is to be caught is to be shot. So we do not do that. We do not get seen. He also does not know Zarak and Gree very well as the fact that he has a little Gorgon child hiding behind a sarcophagi right now. Part of him has a little bit of trepidation with Zarak. He did take a pretty hefty wound there. And as Nadim probably knows, from a probably not so clean weapon. But he did see Gree kind of pull out his apothecary stuff, so he's like, okay, I'll leave that to that man to take care of him. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. So he'll basically dwell near them long enough to make sure Zarak isn't just going to completely keel out on them at the beginning, and then he's probably going to go back over to the little girl and see how she's doing.
Well, Nadim, as far as you can tell, this young Yathite man, rather poor in clothing, is clearly quite wealthy in his doctoring and his medicinal knowledge. And it's pretty readily apparent that Zarak is in pretty good hands. Though Gree would also be in good hands in and of himself if he has to take care of himself. So you go and check on this Gorgon child, and
Eyes averted, of course.
yeah, you round the coffin there. She ain't there anymore. And so you kind of, I'm gonna say you may or may not venture to have a look like, what the hell? And then you see a cobra, a small cobra, just one snake head poking out from underneath the sarcophagus lid that's just ajar. It's like she probably is in there, and she's not sniffling anymore, but uh you gave her her doll, and
Right.
but this snake head is there, and then like another one comes out, and there's three, until there's like 4 or 5 snake heads just kind of looking around.
He can't look in there because to
No.
look in there could be bad.
Right.
And okay, remind me because I don't remember from last time.
Right.
Did we share a common language?
She speaks the Yathite language with a strange accent.
Okay, so we do have a common language then. Okay. I couldn't remember. So yeah, the Deem is gonna he's gonna like creep. Well, not creep is the wrong word, but basically he's gonna creep up against the sarcophagi and
Yeah, sneak up on a Gorgon, I dare you.
right. Well, I mean, she knows I'm there. The snakes are like
They're
he
not
also
hissing, they're just like they're looking around. Like you can
but
you kind of assume that she can see through the snakes. Like
right,
maybe there's something there.
or at the very least the olfactory sense, yeah.
Right.
Um, but no, it's more creep because I'm trying not to make noise.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't like making noise. So creep is the wrong word, but at the same time, creep is the only word.
You're not trying to startle. You're trying to be very very
yes.
calm, very okay.
But no, when he gets close enough, he's gonna kind of look at the snakes and be like, I think they're gone. There's piles of salt.
You hear a tiny voice from inside the coffin. I don't want to come out right now.
Okay. I'm not gonna make you come out. But one of the other people got injured, so we're gonna take care of him. So when you come out, you come find me. And then when we get him patched up, we're going to try to get you home. And like it's in like very much like the big brother type voice too. Like it's all gonna be
It's gonna be
okay.
all right. We're gonna take you home. It's gonna be okay. You get the feeling that that is a nonverbal acceptance of what's going on. She doesn't audibly say anything, but like the rest of her snakes are now above the lip of the sarcophagus, like looking around. Her head is on a swivel with dozens of little eyes.
And we'll try to find something for your eyes.
Okay. How do you lot wish to proceed?
As I'm getting him stabilized and, however long that takes, I'd like to think about Gorgons and what I know about them. Um, if there's anything about how the turn to stone works, if I recall, is it at will for them or anything like that? And then secondly, what their social structure, if I know anything about that, if we're talking of like we got to take this Gorgon back to a parent, a village, What's their kind of social structure?
Okay. What is Grease? What's his cunning score? Like full score? I'm pretty sure
10.
he's pretty sweet. Oh, okay, so he's pretty damn smart. Uh, and he's a guild apothecary. So, we could we could very much argue the fact that he's got a what would be the equivalent to um like a university degree in medicine for what this time. He is a very well read, very well educated man. Um, not unlike make a little bit of a history reference here. If you were a a Roman family and you wanted to purchase a teacher, a slave teacher to give to teach your children about the world, you would 9 times out of 10 you're going to either buy an Egyptian or a Greek to teach them geometry. So we could extrapolate. Gree is a very young, very well educated, very well trained individual. In that regard, I'm gonna have you make a cunning test and
Okay.
add
I-
4 to it. He's got grades in academics, right?
I have a level 3 in academics.
Oh, well, never mind then. Just make an academics test and
Okay.
add 4 to it.
4 on top of my other bonuses.
Yep.
Ooh, that's 1 explode. So that's 14 right there, plus another explode. So 14 plus 8 is my math here. 22.
Okay.
Wait, no,
Here.
I'm not done yet.
Oh,
26 plus 5 and then an additional 4. Anyway, we're talking about 30, about 35.
okay.
Ooh.
Okay, Archimedes, you tell me what you know. So,
What don't he know?
yeah, right. Now let me dig into Gree's backstory here for a few moments. What is Gree's connection to the criminal underworld look like? We're be pretty narrative based about this.
So my master was he was a straight up apothecary, a academic. He was my mentor, but obviously he had been doing that for quite a long time and made a number of connections as he moved up the ranks of the school. One of the other schoolmates, who happens to be a very good friend of his, broke off from the apothecary and branched out into the criminal element of, instead of doing things like research and studying healing, he went more towards the potions and poisons aspect, and sold those for profit and eventually build up a considerable criminal empire, if you will. But my master maintained his friendship with him. Although he did all this other twisted criminal stuff, they still were the best of friends. And so by proxy, this other fellow was very uncle-ish to me, and I didn't have any type of problem with that. So that's my criminal background connection there.
Okay. I like how Gree's professor has a dirty friend.
We all have at least one.
He's got a guy who he
And if
can
you
call on to hide a body.
and if you don't have one, you usually are the one.
You are the body hider. So we'll say that a friend of a friend who is an associate of said friend himself may or may not himself have been a Gorgon, wink wink nudge nudge. And you have met this person in passing once. With that information and educational background, your base knowledge is, why the hell is she not wearing her mask? Because Gorgons, when dealing with non-Gorgon civilized races, wear a mask that has a strip of a length of black linen, kind of like sewn and or fastened to the inside of the mask, which kind of works as a veil, and so they can actually cover their face, cover their eyes, so they can have an anonymity about them and still be able to look somebody in the eye. Sometimes these masks are unadorned. Sometimes these masks are stylized. The individual that you spoke with once had some serpentine features about him, and yes, he was a male. You learned in this one particular encounter that part of the reason why Gorgons wear masks is because of the petrifying gaze. Another is to protect their identity because they are a people in decline. I'm basically going to give you most of my Game Master notes. With that role, you're kind of entitled to the whole document. According to their mythology, they had a queen or an empress in a previous age who fell in love with a mortal of another nation, and she attempted to woo this man by writing him a poem. And to create a narrative analogy here, this would be like a queen of another tribe writing Odysseus a haiku, and Athena getting offended because some woman is after her champion and he can't be bothered with this other woman. And so Athena cursed this queen and her entire people for her potential man stealing. And they hide their identities. They are people in decline. They no longer have their own cities anymore because their cities are now well known and haunted as shit dungeons that people go into for treasure hunting and adventure and such like. And common knowledge about these rundown entire cities are they're death traps. You have no idea what's going to be in there, and you don't want to know what's in there, from eldritch horrors to foul serpent-like sorceries. And so Gorgons, primarily as a culture now, are a nomadic people. Like, not this isn't meant to be an offensive thing to the various Romani people of the world, but think of the Arclinian Gorgon as a Greek or a Grecian like desert gypsy nomad people that within the next couple thousand years might be extinct. And that's why people treat them like monsters. Most Gorgons who deal with non-Gorgons are very tragic individuals who are just here to make money and try not to have their eyes plucked out by some dark sorcerer for their petrifying properties. distant relatives of a certain party member may or may not have had in their possession a Gorgon eye for the purposes of seeing magical auras. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Mike. So yeah, there's with a 35, Gree's number one concern is where is her mask?
Okay. So what I do is
Sorry for the exposition.
no. So the main thing is that I'm like, Nadim, I got to talk to you quick.
What?
So typically they would have a mask. The Gorgon people would wear a mask in order to protect non-Gorgons from their gaze. Can you ask her if she's got a mask? Because I'm thinking she must have been using something. If she came from that village, the fact that the entire village wasn't turned to stone means that while they had her in captivity, either they had something or they had her mask that they were making her wear.
I didn't see anything around her, and I did mention finding something for her eyes, and she didn't make a motion or answer toward already having one. So I'm assuming it got lost probably during one of her escape attempts.
Well, the reason why I'm asking too is it might be something else to comfort her because it's not going to be offensive or unusual for them to have the mask, and it might be comforting for her, maybe.
I can go double check with her. And then I don't think we saw anything like that back at the encampment though.
Not the you guys talking about the
The mask, like seeing just like a mask.
no, I mean
The cannibal encampment.
the cannibal video. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, you did not see any of that.
Yeah.
No,
And
not even by
we
the
didn't
not
see
even the
any
river either.
and we didn't see any indications of statues or anything in anywhere in the encampment as we were
Nope.
kind of rummaging around.
Yeah, so no, your deductive reasoning is quite excellent there. What did she lost it somewhere between then and here possibly, or they had her face covered somehow.
Put a
Right.
bag over it. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
and then the second thing too that we should talk about is the mummies that we took out just now. We still haven't gone over anything that they would have, and if it's something that we want to add to our mummy items collection.
actually, you probably would have seen them take it, but the one mummy had that scepter, that gold scepter
Oh,
that Nadim would have picked up with cloth and put with the bag that had the mantle and uh the Fey Iron dagger in it.
okay.
Is Gree would know that that scepter that was actually capped with what looks like a sunstone, it would be a typical for today. That would be a typical design of an antique, like a scepter of office, from a previous dynasty, Egyptian looking.
Symbol of authority.
Yes, right. That individual was either a priest, a scholar, or somebody of some interesting importance.
Of some note, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's also if you would have asked Nadim what all he gave, he would have shown you the bag with the mantle and the dagger and the gold coin and now the scepter in it. So
Okay. Nope. I just didn't see you pick anything up, so I was just wanted to make sure that.
yep. Other than that, I think the only thing they had was copper armaments and armor that was basically falling apart, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the copper would be pretty horribly oxidized. Yeah, copper turns green when it oxidizes, right? It doesn't rust. Yeah,
I
no,
believe
no,
so.
nothing.
Yeah,
For minutes, I
that's
was
the
about to say, "Oh no, it's rusting." That's not.
that's the
Stop it. That's not what it
they
is.
get a patina, I believe the word is,
There we go.
and that's the
Uh,
green and whatnot. Yeah, I know some science.
yeah, right. Uh, so when I describe copper in that archaic fashion, it ain't copper, it's green.
Right.
Um, so I'm sorry, continue.
So yeah, I'm assuming Nadim and Gree would probably talk for a couple of minutes, just sharing information back and forth. And once Gree is done, and probably going back, I'm assuming back to Zarak to make sure he's okay. Uh, Nadim will actually go back over. Uh, Actually, before he goes back over to the little girl, he's going to make a quick sweep around the room to see if he can find her mask.
Make me an awareness test.
All right, got it. Yeah, 12.
You no, there is no mask here.
Okay. Yeah, he will look for the snakes again, not knowing if she had moved a second time, and
Oh yeah, no, her cobras, uh, as her snakes are cobras, uh, Gree, when you were or maybe in your early to middle teens, uh, the Gorgon, uh, that you encountered, possibly as a youth, you may or may not have asked the inappropriate question of, "Oh, do you actually have snakes for hair?" Which you would have caught a smacking from your teacher. We don't say those things. Um, and he would have at least taken his hood off, not his mask, but his hood off, and he would have shown you a mane of asps, um, so black asps. Uh, so there must be some snake or serpent species variation amongst the Gorgon people. Maybe that's somebody, maybe a tribal thing. Like some people are blondes, some people are brunettes. Maybe that's that we don't know. But the little girl as small brown cobras for her hair. Uh, I know her snakes are still looking around. She has not moved an inch from where she's at. And do you risk looking in the coffin? Make up a new character, Mike.
no, Nadim is actually going to take off his hood.
Oh my
It's
God.
it's actually detached from the cloak and the cowl, and he will actually wrap it around his eye, like wrap it around his head so it covers his eyes.
Okay. Uh, if you yeah, no, she's still in there. She's playing with her doll,
Right.
and the little threadbare snakes kind of like flop around as she's playing with it. She seems like she's pretty calmed down by now. Uh, one of her snakes is like looking directly at you in that Ophidian stare that may or may not be uh a bit uncomfortable for you to meet its gaze.
Right. Right. Well, it's like part like he hasn't had any like first person encounters with these things, so half of them like part of him is expecting the snakes to be able to just start biting at him or something. He's gonna fucking die of toxicity.
Oh, you can assume that
Yeah.
all of those
So,
snakes are venomous.
but no, he looks in, sees she's in there. It's very kind of veiled and fuzzy because he's looking through multiple layers of cloth right now.
Hmm.
But he's. Do you know where your mask is, little one?
She doesn't look up at you, but her snakes, more than half of her snakes actually look at you. She says, "Well, the witch took it."
What witch?
There was a hag that took me away from my people, and when I woke up in this smelly hut, I didn't have my mask, and I tried getting my mask back, and so I could run away, because my mom said, "You don't take your mask off around lesser peoples." And then the hag chased me all over the desert and the rocks and across the river, and that's when the cannibals found me, and they hit me in the head, and then I woke up with a bag on my head that I couldn't take off, and then when I tore a hole in the bag, everyone was asleep, and I escaped the bone cage, and I cut my leg on the cage, and then I ran across the desert. There was a sandstorm, and then the hag found me, and then I found this place, and the hag didn't come in, and then there were the mummies here, and then the scary men came from the village, and I got them.
You did get him.
I got them. And then the mummies came, and this explanation like echoes throughout the chat. Everyone's hearing this shit. And I lost Moo. She holds up her doll. And Gree, how you'd spell the name Moo, it would be the letter M and the letter U, but in hieroglyphics it would be pronounced Moo, like MOO, but MU with the circumvex over the U.
Like the
Her name
ancient
is
ruins moo.
Yeah, right. So the little doll's name is Moo, and and uh and then you came here. I really miss my mommy and my daddy.
And we're gonna try to get you home.
My mom and dad are nomads, so I don't know where they're at anymore.
Rafe, if
Yeah.
Zarak is stabilized and I start to process the story that's echoing through the chambers,
Yep.
I'm gonna kind of make my way, not necessarily sneaking, but quietly make my way to the staircase that brought us down in the other antechamber.
Hmm.
Um,
You got to
and I
move
want,
past the statuary in the other room, though.
yeah, that's kind of awkward, but yeah.
It's oh, they're creepy, man.
now that I know what they are, I'm like, oh, I wonder how that felt. Anyway,
Or if they
make
still
my way to
feel.
this.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, fuck these guys. They're cannibals. Push one over.
Oh, that could be a big mess. I don't know what's on the inside. I'd just rather not crack that egg.
Literally. Sorry.
I'm going to stealthily make my way up the stairs because there was no door to this, right? It was just an open portal that we happened to find.
Yep.
And I want to make my way up the stairs and very stealthily peek my head around. What I'm thinking is, as this girl is telling the story about the hag and the hag keeps following her and the hag keeps coming back, I'm kind of thinking maybe the hag was smart enough not to mess with the mummies down here, And if she
Mm.
realizes that the mummies aren't here anymore, then that might invite her to try to come back again. I'm going to try to whisper this to Nadim as I'm walking past and going, we should probably be watching out for this hag. I'm going to take a look and then go up.
What is Zarok doing as all this is going on? You can stand and just, I mean, you're hurt, you're stabilized, you're good for now. You're good.
I is Gree translating this as he's bandaging Zerak?
Yep.
Because otherwise, I'm sitting there with the blank expression on my face, like I have
Bunch of
no
foreigners
idea.
talking to each other. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah, right.
like before Gree goes off to do his thing, right before he leaves, Zerak's gonna just like put his hand on his arm and be like, "We gotta educate me on this language. I have no idea what is going on half the time."
I was thinking the same thing. We can start working on teaching you this.
I feel like I've got a lot of it in passing over the years, but I need a formal verbal education on this because shit, I feel like I miss some important stuff sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can start working that as soon as you're feeling well enough to move.
Well, I mean, even if I can't move very much, at least then I can work my mind because what else am I gonna do when I'm less than mobile?
Yeah,
Next
we
chance
still
we
have.
get, next chance we get, we'll start working on it.
Absolutely.
For now, I guess I'll just tip over one of these ugly fucking statues. Nah, not really. Other than that, once Gree leaves, Zarok is just gonna test his balance, stand up, just put some weight back on his feet, and see how he feels after that blood loss. He's gonna take it easy.
It might be a bit dizzy, but
Yeah.
Gree is an
So
excellent doctor.
yeah, he's gonna brace himself with his spear and just kind of make sure he doesn't. He's gonna make sure he doesn't topple over.
Hmm.
Oh, he's gonna kind of quietly call out. Did anybody ask her name?
No, we haven't gotten that far yet.
I feel like that would be a proper way to introduce ourselves and herself if we asked her name.
Well, when we first saw her, she was crying her eyes out because she didn't have her doll. It wasn't pertinent at the time, and then you had to go get stabbed.
Well, someone did tell me to check out the next room. It wasn't my idea.
Well, next time, check it out more carefully.
Damn it. Golly gee.
When I'm feeling better, I might backhand you for that. But for now, you watch out.
Yeah, you can try.
Young man, don't make me.
So Gree, you leave the burial chamber, and you can hear the wind howling from the bottom of the stairway, and you get about 2/3 of the way up. There's a sandstorm going outside. You get maybe about 10 feet from the door, and the sand starts to pick up. And it's probably the reason why much of this stairway in this tomb is choked with sand. It actually starts to sting. Like you get small, like micro cuts and lacerations. You're not gonna go up there any farther, but
No.
it's down here for now.
Nope. That's exactly what I was looking for. So I'm actually feeling like the sandstorm might be a blessing in this case. This is going to provide us some cover and concealment. And if everybody is okay with it, we might have enough supplies just to stay here. Well, obviously during the sandstorm, so we've got cover. Why not make the best of it? So I'll retreat downstairs. Very carefully kind of poke my head around, make sure I'm not interrupting anything. And then let the others know about the sandstorm. And we're right in the thick of it right now. So we ain't going anywhere.
All right. So we wait for the sandstorm to pass and then we get out of here.
As long as we have supplies, we've got a way to keep the fire going. We're in great cover and concealment. All we have to do is have one person stay awake enough to watch that outer door. Are there other sarcophagus that were in the room where the zombies came from? What was in there?
We actually didn't go in there. I was actually just gonna go do that.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that room was remained unexplored because that it was the fight in the doorway. You really didn't have the luxury of having a look in there. But when you do have a look, you sweep your torch in there. There are 4 other smaller sarcophagi. Gree, when you have a look in there, it's readily apparent that when a ruler gets put down, that servants either commit suicide or they get sacrificed with said ruler, so the ruler themselves can have slaves in the afterlife to go into the afterlife with them. This is either a quarter for guards and or slaves to have been buried with honors in here, and you see 4 lesser sarcophagi, lesser adorned sarcophagi. It's pretty unfortunate that the tomb with the nobleman or the noblewoman that the girl is currently now inhabiting, Nadim, you're the only one who's looked in there so far, but yeah, no, the corpse is gone. It's an empty sarcophagus. If there have been any, if there was somebody in there, their personal effects, and they are no longer in there anymore. Tomb raiders possibly pillaged this tomb quite some time ago.
And out of the 4 smaller sarcophagi, they're all open. Like,
yep. Oh
that's
yeah,
where
they're all open. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Is there any of them that would have looked ornate enough to have the mummy that had the mantle on laid to rest in it?
Yes, that is actually the far left hand one. That lid has been slid free and then like half on the sarcophagus, half leaning there.
Okay, so that's that one, 2. So if they're roaming around, there's at least one more mummy somewhere. If they decide to roam around. Yay. No, the Dean will kind of just make a sweep around. I mean, if everything looks kind of looted already, there's no point in really looking, for anything else. He will peek into each sarcophagus just to make sure it is actually empty.
Oh yeah, all of these coffins, sarcophagi are empty. So one in particular, one corpse is still walking about amongst the living, which might be horrific and nightmarish to you.
Right? Oh, it definitely is, because once again, he does not like mummies. Mummies are not supposed to exist. Aresh could go damn him and take his soul. After looking around, seeing anything of note, he'll actually leave a torch in there, like still in like the entryway, just so we have the light. But then he'll come back on. He'll tell Gree what he said, what he saw, or have Gree follow him or whatever. So
No obvious exits from that room. It's a dead end.
Not from that side chamber, no. There is, however, a what seems to be a partially collapsed in hallway beyond the greater or sarcophagus that kind of leads into the back of that room that has a skylight in there of some kind where the cool breeze that I spoke of earlier that seems to be coming from. But you guys haven't slipped through that back area yet. It seems just to be these 4 chambers in like the front. We're going to call that the front of the complex, and then that small hallway beyond the greater sarcophagus has actually been explored. That's your fog of war, if you will.
And you say it's partially collapsed, partially blocked?
If you've got a typical rectangular doorway, post and lintel, part of the hallway, I mean like 2 or 3 steps beyond that threshold is collapsed in, but is open enough crawl space wise so you actually be able to like army man crawl on your belly through that. If you moved a bunch of the sand out of the way, you could possibly like half crouch through. And there's a shaft of diagonal light back there that you can see.
All right. I'm going to return back to the group and just go, with the sandstorm going on, we're stuck here. I don't know if it's worth sending somebody down just to make sure that there isn't anything that could creep up on us from the rear, or if we would just consider that to be another point that has to be watched. Is it worth exploring?
I mean, everything's worth exploring. It's just a matter of, is it worth the hassle of getting all the sand out of there? We'll just keep an eye on it for now. I mean, if it's that clogged up, then hopefully nothing's coming through.
Do you have any type of weather sense that if you took a look at the sandstorm, if you'd know about how long we're going to be down here? Because we could either make use of this time, or if it's not going to be very much longer, you know, just so we know what kind of weight we've got.
Oh,
I'm
weather
assuming
sense.
is that just like a wild lore type?
Yeah,
Yes.
wild lore. Excuse me. Weather sense would be wild lore. Weather watching.
Okay.
It's part of nature.
Who can, is anybody just kind of taking this role, or can we all try and make a shot, or what?
Gree can make the roll because he's the only one who's been outside yet.
Okay.
All right. So I'll actually have a +6 to 9 + 6, 15.
Yep. It could be anywhere for a couple more hours to tomorrow.
All right. And I share that with the guys.
It's very much a temporary stay.
At this point, I think Zirak should get off his feet, and I keep keep an eye on those wounds. And if anybody needs to get any rest, we'll just post a guard.
All right.
Well, I'm not laying in their beds. I'll make my own on the floor.
Nadim will actually go back over to the little girl once they're done kind of doing their options here.
Okay.
I'm assuming the snakes pop out as I come up.
No, yeah, no, she's been keeping many small eyes on you guys as you guys have been kind of going about your thing. She hasn't participated in the conversation at all, but she's well abreast of the situation, so to speak.
Though with the Rock's opinion in his ears, he will kind of look over with that veil of his on and be like, "Can we get your name, little one?"
The tiny voice that echoes from within the bowels of this sarcophagus, she says her name is Myza. It's spelled M-Y-Z-A.
All right. So how much did you hear?
I heard all of it.
Okay. So you know we're leaving once the storm passes.
Yeah. With the sign and everything.
Well, you can't stay down here forever, especially if the hag wants to come back.
You get a feeling of horrid trepidation at the mention of the hag.
Uh-huh. And I
Some
think I
desert
found
dwelling Baba Yaga shit that might be
right.
there. We have no idea.
And I think I figured out something to work for your eyes so you don't have to avoid everyone's gaze. And we could also hide your cobras at the same time.
And what's that?
Does she actually look up at him?
No, she doesn't look at you at all. She hasn't.
Okay.
She's been a good girl and she has not turned her gaze on anybody. It's her snakes.
Right. Um, well, you're going to wear what I'm currently wearing to look down at you. And it should be big enough to cover all of that.
She she remarks that she's like, my mama used to wear a veil when she went out with the other people. Sometimes we had humans visit uh our caravan, and sometimes mommy would wear a veil over her snakes so the people wouldn't get afraid.
People are afraid of what they don't understand.
Um, no, she has a cripplingly adorable small voice that is rather quite deceptive, giving the absolute almost eldritch horror that she can bring to bear with a look. So it have that juxtaposition of things in your mind as Misa interacts with the rest of you. She said she's like, I think I should stay in this coffin until we leave.
Okay. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty?
When was the last time that she actually ate? Yeah, she's very hungry. Yes, I'm very hungry and thirsty. She says that she hasn't eaten in 8 days. Like actually eaten food in 8 days. She drank from the river 3 days ago.
Okay. Just I'll be right back. And Nadim will go to their bags and get some of the rations and some of the water in the copper bowl he has. And how wide is the lip of the sarcophagus? Like, can I put the bowl on there without it falling over, or is it too thin?
It's no, you can probably no, you can set a bowl on that easy. It's
What-
like 3 inches across. This is a big coffin.
Okay,
Whoever was in here was either very tall or very fucking wealthy, because this is
right.
seemingly one large. It's like they carved they hollowed out a megalith. Which agree would be very no, that's one stone, man. That is all.
Right.
Lid and basin, one piece of material.
Yeah, he will actually put the bowl on the corner so it has more stability,
Okay.
and then he'll place the rations next to it.
What
No,
exactly are you giving her?
just I know we have the change worth of rations, so it's probably just the fruits, the dried fruits and whatnot, the
Okay.
figs.
Okay. Well, so yeah, no, she'll take it. Like, and the rest of us, if we're actually watching, we'll actually see what the like this little girl's like hands. She's bronze, olive skinned with a hint of green in her hands. She's got the physique of like a 9-year-old human child. Picks the bowls up. She takes the figs, and then she crawls under like half under like the lip of the coffin. Like she's this big sarcophagus, and she eats her snack. Dried figs and water. Breakfast of champions.
It's better than starving to death.
Right.
While he's doing this with her, and I make sure Zarak is laying down and is comfortable, I want to take a small torch and go over into the other room because I'm dying of curiosity about the statues. And I want to take a lot
Okay.
closer look at, I'm keeping in mind, like, this is someone who was petrified into stone. And I want to see what happens to their material, their clothing or armor or weapons, what that all looks like. And I'm trying to screw up my courage enough to take the cudgel and maybe break off a finger or something just to see what would happen.
Okay.
But I'm examining
No,
first.
no, you're good. You get in there. You put your torchlight on these previous in a previous life they were cannibals. In this life they are immaculately carved statuary. If this was wrought from stone, the 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 sculptor is a savant of a savant of savants. He is a genius with a chisel and a hammer. You can see in the palm of one of these statues, like so we look at our earthly bodily hands and we see the creases of the skin and such like, and maybe like one of them moves, or like an athlete moves and like a vein bulges through the skin. It's that level of detail. And their skin, hair, arms, armor, everything that they were touching when allegedly her gaze fell upon them, or when their gazes met, stone, full kit. And from like an artist perspective, they're breathtakingly beautiful statues. However, there's a hint of grimness an immediate expression of like surprise or terror, and just forever. That expression will be there forever.
I'm going to look at the different statues, and I'm going to look for one that would maybe have their fingers separated, and where like if I were to do this, knocking a finger off would be relatively easy,
Mm-hmm.
just to be able to break it off.
Yeah, no, you can easily find. We're gonna say like one of them is like holding like a cudgel of some kind of mace of some kind, and I was petrified, and his thumb is out, and with your cudgel you like tap it, and the thumb busts off and then flies off into the darkness, and you're like, and it's just a stump. There's no blood. Like he is stone through.
I'm going to search around for the thumb.
Now you find the thumb in the darkness, and it is a thumb of like blue-gray marble. It's like weighty.
Um, I don't know if this is offensive to her sensibilities at all. If I'm just, disturbing anything that she would have claims to or anything. So I'm not going to make a big show of walking around with the thumb. I'm going to
No.
just put it in a pouch for now and just kind of keep it out of the way. But I want to examine that. That's really, really interesting.
Make me a reflexes test here quick. Or it'd be a reflexes save, excuse me. Let me use the proper terminology.
That would be a 14.
Okay, you're about to leave that room, and you kind of like you're kind of in the midst of these statues, and you're like trying not to bump on anything. One of the straps of your bag hooks on like the scabbard of one of like the short sword, and you're like, oh shit, there's some resistance there, and you're like, oh, you're trying to like move it, and the statue starts to fucking fall, and the thing falls. You're like, oh shit, it falls, fucking shatters like blue-gray
no.
marble dust everywhere, and another one falls, and another one falls, and of the 8, there's like 4 bodies, just dust everywhere, as the rest of us hear this enormous like falling masonry racket, and Grease standing in the middle of it like, oh shit, oh no, oh. Way to be, man, you just killed 3 people. As if the other ones already petrified weren't dead, but anyway. Destroyed, quote unquote, destroyed 3 people.
I'll head back to the other room. I'll be like, I'm okay. Had a little accident with the statues. We're good. I'm okay.
Well, if Thing didn't know we were here before, this is why I work alone. This is why I work alone. This is why I work alone.
Gray, if you steal a look back up to the coffin, there's a small cobra head looking at you from the coffin, and oh my god, does she actually fucking look? Does she look? Do I kill the party here because she pokes her head out? Son of a bitch. No, you see a fucking head. Like again, a bronze and olive green fucking head of cobras slowly look up from, and
I avert my eyes.
Yeah. And she looks up, and those of us, and now the audience can see because we're not gonna like fucking, but she looks up and she says they're dead. They're not gonna hurt anybody. Not anymore. And Whimper's just kind of like, oh shit, oh. And after a few moments, she gets her head back down there.
I'm gonna put on my nicest buttery big brother voice too and say, I'm really sorry, Biza. You'll have to excuse me. I hope I didn't offend you with that at all. I'm very uneducated in your ways, so no offense at all.
She says, I'm not offended. I already got them, so you can push all the statues over if you want.
And
They're,
this is
they're not going to hurt anybody
completely
anymore.
brand new to us, a new experience, and so I wasn't sure what would happen of the transformation if this was something that occurred only on the outside or all the way through. So
No, they turn to stone. She says, my mommy can make them yellow. She makes the statues yellow, like gold.
interesting. And she could do that on purpose, or that was just her color.
She can do it on purpose. She said, mommy has to take her mask off and look at somebody. She's my daddy never wears his mask, and he looks at humans all the time, and they don't turn to stone. And there's a horrifyingly silent pause, and then she concludes, unless he wants them to.
Whoa.
Answers that question.
Yeah.
Oh,
Liza, do you know anything more about that hag who was chasing you?
She's a scary hag with a long nose. And some when she took me away from my family, she actually gets this. You guys can't fucking see. She's in the coffin. It's echoing out through the coffin. She's not looking at anybody. She says, when I was in the box in the hag's hut, some men in strange robes wearing elephant masks came to her, and they were talking about some people being taken as slaves to a rock quarry because they were going to make big stones for some shrine that they were trying to put up, some elephant shrine, and they were wearing red and black robes, and they had bones on them, and one of the men was a Yaith. He was an older man, and he had yellow eyes, like he was sick. She describes jaundice, is what she's describing. And so Gree was like, oh, that's fucking jaundice. He's got jaundice, poor bastard. No, Misa continues. And he was wearing armor. He had a top knot and sideburns, which sounds actually like Nadim. She's actually sounds like she's describing this mark of yours. And so everyone is on the spot, like, tell us more, girl. What's going on? And
Nadim's like eyebrows would raise, probably hidden by his hair, but he's like, all right, just let her keep talking.
after a 10-second pause, The Rock is like, tell us more. Translation period.
Right? Girl, we want to hear. Spill the tea. She fuck, I'm sorry. No, she said no, they had elephants. They took some elephants, and then they had some slaves. They took the slaves away. They were Yaith people, and there were the the nomad people, the star people. They had the Talishite people with them and some Thoranean people. And they were all naked. Like slaves don't wear clothes. But no one had collars. Everyone was tied up. And no, they took them away. And the hag said that she was going to pluck my eyes out and eat one of them. And then I ran away. She says that last bit in a rush, like, I am going to have none of that if this ugly grandma is going to eat my eyeballs.
Well, you sounded like you were very brave, and you acted very courageously.
I can show you where the hag's hut is. Complete deadpan.
Is it on the way back to where your family was last seen?
I think so.
So we could be headed in that direction anyway to get you back to your mom and dad.
Hmm. She goes silent for a little while. When are we
Nadim,
gonna leave?
as soon as the storm passes. Which Nadim will actually take that moment to leave the room and go up to the staircase.
Okay.
Because I assume it's been at least a little bit of time. So he's
I say you guys have been kind of hanging out for a couple hours by now. The conversation on and off as you guys are half winding down. The sandstorm has passed, but the wind seems to be let me describe it this way. Less sandstorm and more windstorm, if that makes sense. If you
Sure.
guys were to leave, your exposed skin wouldn't be flayed off, is what I'm saying.
right. Be irritated, but not flayed.
Right.
Okay. Which direction does it seem to be coming from?
The wind?
Yes.
The wind is coming down from the north with a rather with rather potent purpose there.
Okay.
And you
Alright.
got light clouds coming in from the east.
Or
And
do they
what time?
do they look like rain clouds or just
No, just white
cloud
fluffy
cover?
nimbus. Yeah, just cloud cover.
What time of day is it again?
This is late afternoon, we'll say. Like 5. We'll call it 5.
Well, fellas, are we just going to hole up in here for the night?
Sounds like that wind's still pretty bad. Probably shouldn't wander out in that. Unless
I
you
know
want to.
Zorak, you could
Yeah, unless
definitely
you wanna
use the
clean this
rest.
wound. That I could.
Yeah. Why don't we stay here? I'm actually going to brave the storm, the winds,
Mm.
to get water and wood.
Okay.
Figure that he figures he should be able to get there and back before it's actually dark.
Oh yeah, easy. If you go to the from where you guys are at geographically, you're gonna be gone for like maybe 40 minutes
Yeah.
there and back.
So he'll do that. If he finds anything worth eating, he'll pick that up along the way, but they have rations to survive.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for tracks. If that hag hasn't given up on snatching her back. I know a sandstorm obviously just went over us, but if there's any type of indication that she's still out there, we got to keep an eye open for her.
Okay. Yeah, no, Nadim, you yeah, like I said, you're gonna be gone for maybe like 40 minutes. There and back. Make me an awareness test if you're paying attention to your surroundings there.
Yeah. Which kind of goes without saying. When he went outside, he would have taken the hood off from around his eyes and of course put it back on where it's supposed to go. So
Right,
figured that was without saying, but figured I'd say it anyway.
right.
21.
You don't think you find anything in kind of like the dying light of the day. However, you do feel like you're being watched. It with a lot of the things that Misa has been talking about recently, there seems to be a presence, a press of some kind out here that kind of makes your skin crawl.
Right.
You can't quite put your finger on it, but it makes you uncomfortable. So you can gather some dates from a date tree and fill up. I'll just say everyone gave you their water skins, and you fill everyone's water skin to the brim, and then come back so you guys have full water
Okay.
provisions, and maybe like a pound or two of dates from a couple date palms. He's gone for about an hour due to foraging, and Nadim comes back with fruits, and Misa is explaining that her and her friends liked to go play hide and seek in amongst the tents when they actually would stay in one spot for a time, and sometimes when her tribe, her people, would set up shop for like a semi-seasonal type settlement, sometimes humans would come and they would trade, and she says that her and the other kids weren't allowed to speak and don't talk to strangers, especially the fucking humans, those goddamn humans that breed like rats. And her mommy would take care of all of the kids, and some of the other ladies would take turns taking care of all the kids and put all the kids in one tent, and the men would deal with the foreigners. And the foreigners usually didn't give them any trouble. Usually they didn't give them any trouble, but when some of the other men, like one of her uncles, said that well, he had to chop off a human's head and kick it off into the desert to prove a point because they didn't like something that her daddy said, and they had to leave the next day. So some humans can be mean.
Right. Damn humans.
With translating assistance, Zrock just kind of wants to ask her some questions. while we have some time. Zarak just kind of he's calling to her from across the room or whatever.
Right. Well, he's not gonna get over there. Come on now.
Yeah.
Give her her space.
Absolutely. He says, Misa, do you think we could help you find your parents? Would that be okay?
I think so.
I know you've
She's
had a rough time the last few days, but you're not gonna run away in the morning, are you? You're not gonna run off on your own? He's like, Zarak has this very gentle parental questioning
Yeah, right. You're like, all right,
tone that
sweetie, we're here to
he's
help.
putting on.
Are you gonna run off on us? Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, she says,
Turn us to
I don't.
stone and ghost us. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Uh, oh, well, if with that in context, yeah, no, you guys are pretty confident that if she wanted to fucking leave, she could petrify the lot of you in an instant and then dip out herself. But the implications of a Gorgon child who sidebar, maybe this is the left side of Gree's head thinking. The implications of a very scared Gorgon child who may or may not be able to control her petrifying gaze at large in the wilderness, either dies of starvation in the wilderness trying to find her parents, or anyone who is, well, if there are nice people in the world, ha ha ha, there's a joke there somewhere. If there are nice people in the world and they try to help her, she can kinda accidentally become completely and entirely monstrous and kill or destroy thousands of people on accident. And she finally concludes, she comments, she goes, I don't know many nice humans, but I think you three are nice.
Well, I'm not sure about the masked hooded one that left us. We just met him recently. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying I don't know him very well, but my translator man here sure is. He's a nice fellow.
The one in the hood earlier, he gave me figs. I'm okay. I like figs.
Well, he must be a pretty nice guy then. I can't say he's not, so I suppose he's pretty all right.
She's gonna at this point she's gonna to peek out of the sarcophagus again with her own eyes, and she said she's more than likely you get Nadim, you're not looking at her, but
I'm not even there right now. This is when I'm gone, I think.
oh no, you
Yeah.
actually come back. You come back to this
okay.
conversation. You have walked in on this conversation. And so no, you walk in, and I was like, Misa, she's gonna like peek her head out, and she arcs the question to the group. Well, you know she's talking to you. She goes, "Can I have some more figs?"
Yeah, I just got some. And Nadim will come down and pass around the water skins, including give one to her because he had a spare. And then he'll probably just pass around the figs because, a pound, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not, especially for figs.
Figs are pretty small.
Yeah. I mean, it's still probably like 3 or 4 a person.
Mm.
So He'll pass those around. He'll give the water skins around. And when I was out and about, did the windstorm get any worse or any better?
Oh no, it's by the time you got back to the tomb, uh, you assume this is a tomb. It's pretty much died down. You picked a great day for it because it's actually kind of gorgeous out this evening. It's a light breeze. It's not too cold. There's a few clouds in the sky. Oh, it's actually kind of fantastic for a walk in the desert if there were not mummies who leak salt all over the place and try and touch you with corruption.
Right. Right. God damn it.
Or hags trying to eat little girls' eyeballs.
Yeah,
which
right.
is fucking terrifying. God damn. But no, Misa will take her figs from you and she will happily eat them in her sarcophagus right now.
Before we bed down for the night, postcards and figure all that out, do we want to explore this collapsed area a little bit?
That's up to you guys. You kind of got to walk by Misa to get there. Kind of in her area.
Snakes pop out. We
Yeah,
can
right.
do it. Get out of my spot.
She's got a. She is the queen of that sarcophagus right now. She's a good girl. She's not looking at anybody in the face. She's not messing anyone up.
She got figs and water. She doesn't care right now.
Yeah, no. Fuck you guys. She's got food and water. Poor thing hasn't eaten for 8 days. Come on now. There.
Zarak will remind her to eat slowly so she doesn't.
Doesn't make herself sick.
Yeah.
Right?
Zarak's just on. He's on doorway duty. He's kind of propped against the wall. He's resting still. Maybe standing up, doing a few light stretches, and just he's on doorway. He's not exploring right now.
Okay. I kind of get the feeling that Zarak is just gonna like ambling around everywhere, like not like an old man, but at this like pace of like, all right, we're gonna take shit really easy from now on.
I'm the new shambler of the tomb.
You're right. It's like a fucking raven here, man. It's
Right.
lively.
There are
Oh,
people
yeah,
getting
no,
stoned
it's
in the
gonna-
other
it's-
room. My God.
Yeah, right? Literally. No, it actually dawns upon you guys that Misa is actually the perfect size to be able to go through that crawl space.
I don't think I would send her through. I was thinking that I might be small enough to wiggle through myself.
If you'd like to go for it, go for it.
I don't know, Nadim. Is this worth checking out? I'm kind of curious because if there hasn't been anybody in that back part of the tomb for a while, I would be very interested to check that out.
Well, we're not going anywhere tonight anyway. The storm's pretty much passed,
Nice.
but we're not going anywhere. So, yeah, if you want to go through it, you might as well. I have no
All
idea
right.
what's on the other side of that thing, and we've already found a couple of these damned it mummies.
Should tie a
Well,
rope around yourself so you can drag your body back when something happens.
Do we even have rope?
I don't know.
No, you don't have rope because if you did, you wouldn't have lost all your shit. Rope was a very deciding factor in being washed down the river. Oh, that's why we have rope.
Right?
Never leave house without rope.
So yeah, if you guys could kind of want to watch my back, I'll get up there and wiggle through the debris, and carry a couple small torches with me, and just I want to be able to at least see what's beyond um, the fall-in.
Do you have
Okay.
a flint?
I lost everything.
All right.
I used to. Shit.
Take mine in case the torches go out.
Thank you.
Okay. So if I'm understanding this correctly, Gree does go through the doorway, the partially collapsed doorway.
Yes.
Okay. You army man crawl through that sand-choked hallway. A slab of stone. It's about 6 feet wide. One piece of stone, like a sheet, kind of presses against the opposite wall there. And you got to crouch through at some point, and your hand brushes across its face. It's chiseled, it's work stone, but it was once a wall panel. The reliefs clearly of Yaeth construction from a previous dynasty. You may or may not feel a tad bit wistful and whimsically archaic as you squeeze your way through, and what feels like gravel, rather sharp, stabbing, cutting gravel. Like shimmy your way past that. You're not gonna take any damage from it, but it certainly doesn't feel good. It's kind of like walking on crushed glass. At one of these steps you're getting through, you accidentally step on a scorpion because fuck him, he's a scorpion. He's gonna get you with a stinger anyway. Fuck. And you get through. You squeeze yourself on through, and you find yourself in a treasury. Yes. And
Well,
there's
one of the first thing I'm going to do is turn to the guys and say, I got through okay. I'm in some kind of room. All right. So continue. Treasury.
So the pertinent information. Oh, it's just a room, guys.
Yeah, right.
And this is where Gree finally becomes a thief.
Yeah, right.
There are stone chests that are half open or open that are heaped with gold coins of a minted vintage from obviously a previous era.
Aside for a moment, I would have shown Nadim that octagonal gold coin when he saw the rest of the stuff I took off the mummies.
Okay.
Just in case he asks.
Okay. And there seems to be a like an altar beyond like 4 chests there that are kind of like in this half semicircle, and only one of these stone chests is actually closed. The other 3 are open, strewn with sand, gold bricks, bullion of that type, coinage, silver, gold, copper coinage, on an altar, like a stone table kind of built into the opposite wall, rests a sword on a cloth that has been eaten by the ages. So essentially a rag, a very sun-faded rag, faded to a color that is not a color. It's just disgusting. It's a scrap of cloth. The sword upon it, however, is magnificent. It is a tulwar, which is a broad-bladed curved saber, which is curved like the crescent moon, and that has, with a golden pommel and a brass cross and finger guard that is swept like the shape of a jet of sand in a desert wind, set with fire opals and an enormous jet set into the end of the pommel. The sword itself has a matching scabbard, which it is in fact scabbarded, is made of what looks like a single piece of ivory. What comes to your mind is, what the hell did that ivory come from if it's one piece? Curved, I see again, curved like the crescent moon. A single piece of ivory that from an unknown origin, carved with alien and eldritch images that are harmful to the eye to look upon. You look upon this, and it actually hurts your eyes to look at some of these designs on here. Though the curve itself actually draws the eye, the images upon the scabbard harm the eye. The tip of the scabbard is decorated with a brass decorative cap that is in the shape of a closed lotus. And from okay, sorry, I'm going to continue my description here. I was about to give you some information that you actually would not know yet. The ivory itself, although white, it's a bit off-white as it shows quite a bit of its age. The hilt and pommel of this sword, however, are seemingly are originals, but the metals seem to have aged well, but not corrosively, if that makes sense. How do you wish to proceed?
Wow. All right. I'm going to go back to the opening that leads out to the guys and say, I found a treasure room. We've got gold bullion, and silver. It's more money than I've ever imagined before.
Sounds like you can pay me back for those supplies then, huh?
Barely. I'm a little nervous of where to take this. The wall, obviously fell in, but I don't know. Does it occur to me that about booby traps at all, Rafe?
I don't know. Does it occur to you?
Is that something that would be like legendary of they did those things, or is that just fiction?
Wealthy Yates dead tend to be buried with no small amount of booby traps. However, the place seems to have been pillaged quite a bit before, and you haven't sprung any traps, so more than likely, left side of everyone's brain here. The poor bastards that came in the few times before you guys did probably bought it themselves or sprung the traps. There is one chest, however, that seems to be closed.
Ah, yes. I'll make sure I relate that back to the guys as well. Like, hey, we've got what was it, 3 open chests
Yes,
and
Three of the
one
four.
that's closed. How are you all feeling?
Um,
haven't picked something in a while.
I feel
Oh
like
my God,
you
yes.
definitely need to check it for any sort of
Oh.
trappings.
Actually,
Mm.
do we even have rules for? Because I know this like never comes up. Do you even have rules for like lock picking and such?
It's burglary.
Yeah, but can I
Lock picking
actually
is
like?
burglary, yeah.
Would,
Do I
would
actually
traps
have?
be some sort of danger sense potentially?
Yeah, danger sense is the save for traps.
Um, but
It
do I
does
actually
not
have
tell you
access
the
to like a
nature of the
lock picking
trap.
kit? Oh,
Well, no,
okay.
you have whatever your burglary skill gives you. Like
Okay.
it's thematic to the person.
Right. I just didn't know if that was like a thing yet, like me to have like a little freaking pouch of like the tools to use, not for a bonus, but just for the aesthetics.
I would say Gree probably would, but he fucking lost his. So
Man's got the clothes on his back and a mortar and pedestal. What do you want from this guy?
I got this.
I bashed someone's skull in with the pestle.
Hey, those things are fucking heavy. Okay.
What I'm
No,
gonna
go ahead,
what I
Greg.
think I'm gonna do is light up a couple more torches in this room to get some better lighting. And
Okay.
I am gonna go over to the sword and not touch anything, but I just want to examine
Come
how
on,
it's
Terry.
sitting, what it's sitting on. No, I'm just looking. And I do have I do have one level in burglary, so at least I get a.
No. Okay.
But yeah, I'm doing the old Indiana Jones thing.
Yeah, right. Oh, if I touch this, what the fuck's gonna happen? Make me an awareness test. If this was D&D, I'd be like, all right, you're not being pressured. You can take a 20 on your spot or your search. Let's see what's going on here.
12, 21, 6, 27.
27. Okay.
Jesus.
I keep rolling high, guys. Keep that energy. You don't think you find anything. It seemingly is a sword that's resting on a rag that used to be very elaborate. You do, however, notice that the sunlight, the last amber light of the day, is kind of shining on the sword here. But I'm gonna say you put up 4 torches, so this is a very well lit room. You're not gonna have a penalty to anything as well lit. Perfectly fine. We're good. With that few more hours of sunlight of dusk today, you don't think that anything is amiss here. Seemingly to your eye, a rather expert eye, just a sword laying on an altar that the sword itself could possibly have been an object of worship. One thing that sticks out to you.
All right. I'm going to go back to the opening. All right, guys. What's the plan?
With Gree going through a couple of times, is there enough room for Nadim to squeeze down there?
Yes. We'll say by the time Gree comes back to the opening, you're kind of like moving through.
Okay.
I don't think Zarak is going to be able to bend in half to get him his armored form through there.
It's also with him being injured, he doesn't want to do that anyway.
So Zarak is hanging out with Misa, who is watching the 3 of you with her cobras, which Zarok is kind of fucking unsettling that you've got like 22 cobras, like really small cobras looking at you. But you don't actually see her, which is probably a good thing.
Bring bags.
Oh, he always has pouches on him.
Right?
Big bags, no, we have to find some other way for that. I don't even think we have very many big bags.
I think the only big bags that you guys have are your carrying bags, not like backpack, but shoulder bags.
Yeah, so Nadim will get into this chamber.
Yep. You see the sword, the chests, three of which are open, one of which seems like it's still sealed. The last sunlight of the day seemingly shining upon that magnificent talwar on an altar that looks like a little bit of a raised dais there.
How is the sunlight? Is there?
It's got a skylight in there.
It's a skylight.
Oh,
Yep.
right. Okay. I was like, did I miss part of the description? Okay.
Yep. There's a skylight in there.
If I'm skilled in saber, is that a general enough weapon that I
Oh
could?
yeah. Oh yeah. No, a tulwar is a little bit of the earth analogy here. A tulwar is actually a broad-bladed saber from of Hindu origin. I'll send you guys a picture later. Tulwars are actually really fucking cool looking.
Right?
I point out the sword to Nadim and I say, I am at least trained in saber. This one has me a little on edge.
Yeah, Nadim will actually look at it, probably see the same stuff Gree did.
Make me an awareness test.
One thing. Oh, nice. One explode. There you go. Should be a fat 20.
Yeah, much the same as the description I gave Gree earlier. You don't find anything out of the ordinary that could possibly be suspicious or trapped. And it's like one big brick of granite. It looks like this thing is resting on.
With seeing the ivory there, do I see any markings or notice anything that would tie it to like the elephant cult, other than just being made out of ivory?
No, actually, and the eldritch and otherworldly designs on the scabbard itself actually hurt your eyes to look at.
Okay. I'll go look over at that unopened chest. If you want me to make a burglary or awareness on that, see if there's anything on that.
How do you search it? Are you putting your hands on it?
What is around it? Is it literally just a stone chest on the floor and like nothing around it, or has it got like?
When I say chest, it's like a 2x3.
Okay.
It's basically a trunk made of stone. It doesn't have a hinge. It's just got this lid that'll slide and grind off and fall over. It's got, or it did have hieroglyphs on there, very stylized hieroglyphs. Whoever was writing on this thing or putting the label on there had a hell of an illuminating hand, and the ravages of time, and probably that that skylight letting in wind and kicking up the sand has kind of worn a lot of these reliefs down to it's just like textured stone, which is next to useless to you guys today because of course it is. And it just kind of like this bare texture, like weathered stone container. It's got a lip on it, and it's sealed in a fashion of some kind. You don't know what it is, what the nature of the seal would be. The one to your left, however, let me describe the chamber better for you. If the sword altar is in the center, you've got two chests to your right, facing the altar. The two to your right are opened. And the two to the left, the far left one is open. The middle left one is where you're standing, is sealed. The far left container, that chest, looks like it was sealed with a glue with a beeswax base to it. And because you can tell it's a beeswax base, that was opened recently. Otherwise, the beeswax would probably have decomposed and something would have ate it by now. By the way, Zarok in the other room, you hear Miza's voice. What are they doing in there?
Do I even speak a language with her?
You don't. Your translator's in the other room.
I'm sorry, Miza. I only speak the tongue of my people. I don't know what you're saying. He's gonna just wave at the snakes. Hi. I'm not gonna look, but he's just like,
don't look.
The snakes are in the peripheral view. The line of sight is still on the entrance, but out of the peripherals, if I see little snake hair moving around, I'm just gonna wave.
Yeah. She actually speaks Talishite, and she goes, "Oh, I speak that language too."
Well, finally, somebody that speaks. Oh, this is wonderful, Miza. This is a wonderful turn of events. What did she ask again? I was so much on like that. I'm not going to be able to talk to
her. She repeats herself in your native language. She says, "What are they doing in there?"
Well, it sounds like they found a like a sword in there, a couple of chests. It sounds like there's some treasure in there.
She just says, "Oh."
Yeah.
Can I come out of the sarcophagus now?
I don't see why not, but I would be careful, obviously, with where you look.
You're not looking at her, but you feel a tiny girl's hand appear in yours, and she's holding onto your thumb. Don't fucking look down.
Zarak will tense for a second, but then he'll feel that, he'll just kind of feel the fingers around his thumb. He'll curl his fingers up to kind of embrace the little hand, and he'll relax. Just take a deep breath. He'll keep his eyes on that doorway, on the entrance. He says, "It's very good to meet you, Miza. I'm glad we found you. Me and Gree, the younger one there, and a different companion, we were looking for whoever might have been leaving those scraps of cloth behind. We've been very worried about you, even though we didn't know it was you.
Yeah, the hag was rather mean and she tore half my skirt off. My mom was very upset because I'm in my underwear right now. Oh,
Well, maybe we'll find you something more suitable soon, huh?
that would be
Maybe
nice.
a pretty little dress or something. What do you like to wear?
Red, like Moo. She's got you guys. You wouldn't see. You know, don't dare look down at her.
Nope.
No, we're just having a non-eye contact conversation. But for the audiences, she's got in her left hand, she's holding Zerok's enormous gauntleted hand, or his thumb in her tiny hand, and she's got her doll Moo in like the crook of her elbow, and she's got the copper bowl with two figs and a half-eaten fig in the bowl, and she's got kind of like that pressed to her like her neck right there, and so she's got all of her earthly possessions are right there. Adorable little monster girl. And she for the rest of us, she's actually like trying to like look through the fucking doorway or the hole, and the rest of you, you don't see this, but we, the audience, would see that she's trying to be part of the group, so to speak. And so oh no, we're back in the other chamber. So Nadim and Gree are quite literally our Tomb Raiders right now. Are shit, it's like Nathan Drake and Indiana Jones trying to pillage a single tomb. All right, how do you want to do this? What's going on?
Just because of all the weird shit going on lately.
Uh-huh.
Nadim is not going to touch us with his bare hands. He's not stupid.
Fuck, I dare you. Come on.
Come
on.
You
Come on,
really
guys.
want to give him some shadow sickness, I swear.
You guys killed all the mummies, so I can't actually say this is a corrupted area anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore.
As the fourth one pops out of his chest, that's what I got revealed. Boom! Corruption. Fuck.
Like a hooker out of a birthday cake.
It's the last kind of birthday cake you want to see, though. Yeah. Beautiful. Thanks, Walker.
No, he will wrap his hands in cloth or his gloves or wherever he has available, and
okay.
He'll see if he can't just kind of like break the seal on this beeswax with just his hands. Otherwise, he'll take one of his daggers and like chip away at it.
Make me a danger safe test. Oh.
A danger sense?
Yes. Oh, for fuck's sake! You're actually attempting to open it.
Yeah. It's been open once. Why not?
I
know, right?
Cool. Danger sense.
Roll new character.
Fucking Christ, Mike! This is your second character you would have made, for fuck's sakes. I'm sorry, everybody. This is gonna piss me off.
I have a torch
22.
and a cudgel by
22.
Yeah.
Yes. Confirmation. 22.
Yes. 22. I was making a joke of rolling new character.
You put your hands on it, and it like on the corners, and you're about to, and it's got. Just try to describe this as best I can right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, seemingly one piece of stone, hollowed out, and the lid. It's not. It's got a bit of a lip on it,
Mhm.
like modern day heavy duty plastic totes will have a lid that the yellow lid will actually set it, like nest in and then clip to the bottom. So you just like, pull that up and then up off the top. Obviously, there's gonna on a stone, you're not gonna be able to peel the plastic off. So the lid of this stone chest kind of like nests into the rim of this rectangular chest. So you're not going to be able to just push it, slide the whole thing off like a sarcophagus would. Uh,
Mhm.
so you would have to lift the lid, which would break the seal, whatever the seal is or is keeping it together, to lift it up and off. How are you opening the lid? Are you pulling it away from yourself, opening to you? Are you pulling it towards yourself, shielding it yourself from what is in there? Off to the side, the right, the side. How is it being opened, and where are you?
More than likely, the way I had it in my head is
Oh,
he just let me do this. Is he would have taken it by the corners and basically like just shimmied it on it so that the opposite two corners are what kind of like open up and break the seal. So basically, he would be on, like you have the four corners. He'd be in this corner. He twist it so like
you're like,
these two
you're like,
corners would break.
so if
So
you're
he would be protected
rotating
by
it
stone.
right to left,
Mm-hmm.
like or clockwise,
Yeah.
the back right hand corner and the front left hand corner are what's open.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent fucking point. Because you can't actually do that. The thing has to be lifted up to do that. There's like it like nests in there,
Right.
maybe like you actually don't know how deep it is. Actually has to be picked up one full thing, one piece, bodily piece, to be
Right.
rotated to be sat down
So
like that.
okay, so we'll step back
Okay.
to it. When he sees the nesting, he will literally like, and this might be difficult, but once again,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
he's going to try to like lift up the corners enough to get the stone on top of the lip,
Okay.
and then he'll rotate it.
Okay. All right. If that is what we're trying to do, I'm gonna say, due to your save, you put your hands on the stone, and as you're turning it, you felt something move inside it.
God damn it.
Many small somethings.
Ugh.
Do I hear anything?
Skittering.
Mm.
My
Muffled
my vote is
skittering.
My vote is
Well, it's
grab
not
some
snakes.
insecticide.
Uh,
Grab you some raid.
Agree to meta for a second because I know it got told to you. And actually, Rafe, would you have told us about killing the scorpion, or would I have seen the carcass crawling through?
uh,
Because that actually kind of determines what he would think is in there right now.
Zarak and Nadim can have seen the crushed scorpion that Gree stepped on when on his way through. Yes.
Okay. So he hears skittering. His brain is thinking, that's the fucking trunk full of scorpions. How the fuck are these things still alive? And he's going to push it back into the lip.
You didn't break the seal. I will confirm you didn't break the seal. When you started to like move the chest, like it jostled a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
in the sand, then
And
the shit started
they
moving.
fucking moved. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's just yeah, no. No. That's no bueno. No mal.
No mames, no mames, no mames. No way, no way.
Agree, you heard that, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to take my torch and go back over to one of the open chests, and I'm gonna like look around on the ground. Obviously, somebody opened the chest. They must have done something very similar to what Nadim did. Do I see any corpses or indication of dead bugs or dead adventurers?
There are no corpses in this room, which might haunt you.
Oh
I don't
goodness.
let 'em know
You
that.
know this is a good tabletop RPG session when it takes 45 minutes to open a chest.
Well, you also
Oh.
cut back to them. It's fine.
Oh yeah,
I'm so glad I'm not in that room right now. Oh my god.
You probably
Hey.
would have knocked it over in your armor.
If I hear, I'm gonna collapse the rest of that fucking tunnel.
Well, Zarok has Misa. He has somebody he can talk to now, and now Zarok
Yeah.
becomes the ace of the party.
Injured ace. I got this.
Man, I really want that sword.
Gree, you're right. Just to make sure, you are inspecting the other 3 already opened chests, correct?
Correct. Yep. I was looking around. My thought was looking for insect bodies, or like I said, if somebody opened this and these other chests were filled with whatever's in there, then maybe they would have gotten eaten. I don't know.
Make me. I'm not gonna make you roll awareness because you're already paying pretty close attention now. Make me an apothecary test.
13.
Hang on.
I'll assist if I can.
And I'm explaining what I'm looking for is like, wow, if that one hadn't been opened and it's still booby trapped, I'm wondering if somebody got these other ones open and triggered the booby traps.
Agree. This one was open at some point. That
Oh,
was
okay.
resealed.
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Or it was booby trapped and then sealed and hasn't been.
Triggered, right?
You said you got a 13.
15.
15?
Wait,
Okay.
13.
Unless
God
I got
damn
to
it.
assist, then it would be 15. Because I have poison craft, and I don't know if that's what the apothecary check was for.
You're going over one of the middle right chest that's slid open. They all seem to be like of the same make and model, or same make and design here. And on the underside of that lid is partially coated with a kind of like a yellow white waxy residue there that smells similar to garlic and burns your nostrils when you smell it. Like it's a really unpleasant burn.
I stepped back from it and pointed out.
Italians.
Shut up, Walk. You're not there. Sicilian booby trap. Yeah, they booby trapped it with
I gave that a respectful 5-second silence before I threw my joke in, okay?
Onion and garlic, the worst nightmare of the apothecary.
right. So many medicinal uses though.
Mm-hmm.
So hey Mike, you wanna make an apothecary test there?
Sure.
It might save the party.
Sorry, 21.
Describe for me the last time you encountered white phosphorus.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Where's the closest torch to this stuff?
A few feet away.
Move
Or
that
the
back.
one in Gree's hand.
Step back. Do
I
not let
do
the
so.
heat. Do not let the heat touch this. You want to see big boom? That's how we get big boom. White phosphorus, you asshole. As an aside, especially because I can quickly put my hood around my nose to kind of staunch the stench. I'm actually going to take one of the pouches I have and see if I can scrape some off into the pouch. I can't remember. Is it? Actually, I can't remember. White phosphorus, is it stable enough to be moved like that or no? Like player question. I can't remember.
Just don't ignite it. Whatever
Wait.
you fucking do.
That's
Do
what I
not
thought.
ignite it.
Like I was actually trying to think as me, the person, about that.
I'm gonna yell over to him then. Is the coins, are they covered as well?
Doesn't seem like it.
Because that would be an interesting trap.
You didn't get close enough to touch that, did you?
No, I didn't touch anything, not even a coin.
The implications of such a booby trap are diabolical and horrifying.
I think I can.
Yeah, now that he's pointed out to Gree what it is, my mind's just spinning. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
World question for a moment.
Sure.
The like standard pouches and like storage, like small storage bags we have, how watertight are those?
I'm gonna say your day bags are probably made of leather. Your various other carrying bags are probably made of linen or burlap of some kind. So no, not watertight at all.
Okay, I guess we're doing it that way then. Because he wants some of this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually going to dump out some of his water skin and actually put some of the white phosphorus into his water skin.
Are you gonna try and harvest as much off of this lid as you possibly can?
I'm going to try.
You're probably gonna get about about a few grams. It's
Hey.
it's kind of shelf stable phosphorus and beeswax. It kind from the already sprung trap and the poor bastard who who already bought it. He from the orientation of the lid being open, he would have took it in the face and the upper chest.
Ooh.
He probably would have died instantly. And the catch seemingly was the stone grinding on itself as the ignition that would have torched him. And probably airtight at the time. Which agree would well, both of you would understand that this whoever was designing these traps had an immense almost fantastical level of knowledge of apothecary and chemistry. This individual's this seems like magic to you
Right.
guys.
Damn diabolical bastards.
Yep. Someone
Yeah,
was
so
protecting their wealth.
right. So yeah, he will try to collect it because he knows that if it gets too warm, or God forbid it touches a flame, it's a big boom. Looking at the coins, not necessarily touching them any, do they look like the same one I already have, or are these different?
Oh yeah. All of these are the silver, the gold, and the copper are all going to be minted similarly or in the same fashion.
I'd like to go over to one of the other open chests. There's two others. Keeping the flame away, I also want to look at the lids to see if they have the phosphorus as well.
No, actually, whoever designed these, one of them was trapped with what would be phosphorus. Another one seems to be trapped with some kind of dark gray powder that you're probably not going to, once you notice it, not going to get anywhere near it to touch it or smell it or whatever the hell else have you. And the third doesn't seem like it's trapped at all.
But it's open.
But it's open. That one is actually filled with canopic jars.
Oh, there you go.
Embalming jars with possibly organs in them.
Well,
I'm not touching the
Nadim,
jars.
what about the coins?
The thing we run the risk of is if they're still usable or not. But then again, gold is gold no matter the weight. So they might take it based off of weight versus what's on it.
Gold is gold.
And none of the coins have any of this black or white powder on it, right?
Oh, the coinage in the chest that actually has the dark powder in it, they kind of are strewn with it. So maybe those coins are possibly not safe.
Yeah, we can probably take a pouch or two. I don't want to take too much. One, we don't have the space for it, and two, I don't want to become a target. I probably can't tell what that powder is without getting up close to it, huh? That black
Correct.
powder.
Yep.
Probably not good. Like his first thought, honestly, is freaking Black Lotus. We don't want to touch that.
Yeah, go ahead and touch it. I dare you.
No.
Fuck yeah. Come on now. You cowards. Come on.
Yeah,
Where's your
hey,
sense of adventure?
I already made one new character for this campaign, all right? I don't need to make two.
And I almost torched but 2/3 of the party with white phosphorus. We're not.
Yeah, right.
All right, come on.
Come on.
It just would have been Zorak and his adopted daughter riding off into the sunset.
Hey, that would have been great.
I
There
found
we
the
go.
girl. I'm out.
Knowing that we have the powders around now, though, do I see any of said powders around the sword or what the sword sits on?
Nope.
No, that
Sword's
is nice.
clean.
That's nice and pristine.
Yep.
I really want to take that sword. I know
Right?
Greery wants to take that sword.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Where's your sense of adventure? Who grows a pair first in a room with white phosphorus booby traps and goes for the weapon first?
Right?
Right.
Nadim is going to take a pouch full of gold. Hopefully nothing happens.
I'm watching closely.
Hopefully ones that are powder free. He's trying not to get any that has powder on them.
Nothing happens. Or you don't
Okay.
think anything happens.
You don't think, yeah, exactly. That fourth fucking mummy comes creeping down the stairs.
Hey, Zorak.
Yeah. What's up?
Would you make me a conditioning test, please?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Nerves
right.
of steel over here. Let me just make sure I've got all the information up properly. Conditioning. Okay. Well, I thought that was good, and then it was average at best. 13.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're hanging out with Misa, and you're starting to feel you don't feel so good. Like you look you start to feel pretty whipped.
A little peaky for my wounds.
A little achy, little sick, little nauseous.
Oh. Misa, can you I need to shout down the hole here for a second. I need to communicate with Gree over there.
She she squeezes your thumb through your gauntlet, and then she goes and gets back in the sarcophagus.
Thank
She
you.
says, nope.
I don't think I have gauntlet. I think I might have gloves. I just have a halberd mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gauntlet, gloves. She squeezes your thumb through the glove. Was basically
Okay.
what.
Gree, if you're not dead in there, I'm not feeling the best. I might need the official doctor's look over here. I'm not in the right frame of mind to do my own checkup.
What's going on?
Dizzy and nauseous. I'm can I check the wound? Is it bleeding again, or
You're
has the
not bleeding.
Band-Aid?
No, the wounds are fine. You're not bleeding. You're stabilized, but inside it feels not right.
Mm. Something internal. I
Okay.
can't tell.
Sit down before you pass out. I'll be right there.
Remember, Gree, those weapons weren't the cleanest.
That's what I got to go back and check. I'm going to grab a couple of handfuls of those coins and throw them in whatever bag that we have handy, and then make it back to the crawl space.
Okay. You guys aren't going to fight over the saber?
I might be back if he doesn't want to mess with it, but I got to go attend.
The doctor is called.
and I tell him too. I'm like, I got to go back and see what's going on with him. So let me know what you're doing. And I crawl back through the crawl space.
Yep, go deal with him.
Is Nadim trained in long blades at all?
No.
He's not? Okay. And I believe Zarak isn't trained in long blades either.
No, spears.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, Gree, you're the only one in the party who's proficient with a saber right now.
Yep. So yeah, when Gree goes back there, Nadim is going to do a once round on the stone that has the sword.
It's built into the opposite wall, so you can do 180 on either side.
Okay, I thought you said it was in the center. Oh, so the wall comes out.
The center of the center of the opposite wall. My
Oh,
apologies.
gotcha. I'm sorry.
Of the it would help if you give the other part of that sentence. God damn it.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Like I know you're already describing that this is more just Nadim like double and triple checking himself type of thing. If he looks at the wall that is up against, is there any recesses, any indents, anything to show a trap along those?
Make me an awareness test.
It's 18.
You don't find anything that jumps out at you like that. It looks like a natural cave wall that has been eroded by time. If there was recesses, if there were reliefs of any kind, is long since been obscured by dust and erosion.
So one would hope that if there was a trap, it's been decayed out. One would hope.
We would like to hope.
Okay. Nadim might die. It's going to be okay, though.
Oh my god.
So
I'm ready.
Right? So, and this is going to sound weird, probably. Directly in front of where it sits, there's no powder on the ground right there, right?
No, you are standing in sand.
That's right. Okay. So, he's actually going to take his hood off. He's going to double layer it, and he's going to lay it down in front of where the sword would be setting in the sand. Now,
okay.
If I remember correctly, this thing is just laying on top of the stone, wrapped in a now rag.
It's laying. It's a table that has possibly had an altar cloth of some kind.
Right.
But the altar cloth has since been moldered and decayed, so what's left of it is like this little rag that's under like the middle of it, and the sword is resting on the rag, which is in the center of the table.
Okay. So
the curve of the blade is towards you.
Right, and that's fine. And my back is up against the white phosphorus chest, if I'm not mistaken.
You're not up against it. It's a few feet away.
Well, that's what I mean by up against it, though. Like that's the one closest to me.
That one would be to behind you and to your right. Behind
Okay.
you and to your left is the one with the things in it.
Right. Okay. So still with the cloth hand, because once again he's not stupid. Especially after the skittering and the white phosphorus. No, he is no. Nadim is a paranoid ass treasure hunter right now.
Fuck yeah, man.
So
Someone's
he
next character needs to be a Tomb Raider, so I can do this more often.
right. Nadim is going to attempt to basically put his hand on the sides of the blade. So like the top of his hand is above like where the curve is. And he's literally going to push it off the table onto his hood in the sand. While he is crouched down.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, you're kind of like to the like to the right and to the left of this table, and you're kind of doing this kind of thing.
Yes. Therefore, he is not at eye level with whatever might come at him. Like I said, he is a paranoid treasure hunter right now.
What are you wearing on your hand?
It is. I can't remember if gloves are actually a thing to make because he has like the woven
gloves,
reed.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then he has because he made himself like woven reed armor, but no one knows this in the party because he hasn't taken off the cloak. But he basically has like the woven reed armor on, so he has gloves.
Okay,
he would use those.
I'll just say you've got some leather gloves. Okay, so your hands are protected.
Yes.
You move the sword, and it kind of like clatters a little bit off of its a little bit raised like lip there. Kind of makes this sound. And so Gree, what are you doing with Zarak in the other room?
So my first instinct was to have him sit down. When I scooch out of the hole, I will help recline him completely then.
Okay.
And I'll start doing a triage assessment, looking to see, holding my torch over, looking at his pupils, just basic first aid assessment.
Okay. Make me an apothecary test.
Ooh, that's exploded. So that's 12. Woohoo. 18 plus 23.
Yeah, he might have like stage 1 sepsis.
Okay.
We just got some water.
I'm gonna take the bandage and take a look at it. What I'm checking for is obviously if it's still bleeding and if it's stinky.
He's not bleeding. It's not stinky yet, and it's scabbed over real nice, but a few more hours he might be pretty sweaty and pale.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna look at the wound then. Is it like hot to the touch, or is it red, inflamed that way at all?
It's red. A few more hours, it's gonna be pretty inflamed, but amazingly, Zarak's kind of caught it like pre-stage 1, beginning of stage 1. Like, oh, I feel like shit, and now we have advanced warning.
Right. Is there anything that I can do for him with what supplies we have?
You don't have any proper medicine to treat sepsis, no. So you guys need to end what you're doing here and haul ass to a place that would have proper medicinal supplies.
Okay. And about how much time, if I were to guesstimate, are we talking?
From now until time of death?
Yeah. Or the point of no return, we'll say.
That's all contingent on how well Alex wants to roll on his dice.
Well, these dice are a pair of bastards, so
But am I thinking in the matter of days or the matter of hours?
Oh. Several days.
Okay.
Several days.
All right. I'm going to tell him, drink some water. I'll be right back. And then I go back through the tunnel again to Nadim.
Okay.
It looks to be an infection. We're going to have to find somewhere very soon that has at least enough supplies that I could treat him or somebody else can. But yeah, we're talking a couple of days.
Gotta get out of here then. Well, we have to go in the morning. We're not going to be able to travel at night.
No.
I'm assuming by now it's like, I don't know, what time would it be? Even like
couple hours after dark, after
Yeah.
sunset. Yeah.
Okay.
Zarak, Misa comes out of the sarcophagus and comes sit down next to you in the sand.
well, looks like I'm not doing as well as I thought, Misa. Hopefully we can get me some medicine.
She just nods. Like you can probably like out of the corner of your eye see like she's a little snake-haired head. Don't look at her, but periphery.
Yeah.
She just nods.
Hmm.
She keeps her eyes down on like her bowl with the figs in it. But she comes out and she sits next to you, seemingly to keep you company, because you're the only one over here.
Hey, maybe if we, in the next village or town we come to, maybe we can go ahead and find you some supplies for a mask. How about that, huh?
That would be nice. Then I can look
Yeah.
at all of you.
Yeah. Think that'd be very nice.
So, in the other room, which amounts to like 14 feet away.
Right.
What are our Tomb Raiders doing?
Well, Nadim would have gotten the sword off the table into his hood, hopefully, and then essentially would wrap up said saber in his hood and
You're taking it with you. We
taking
are
it with me.
confirming we are taking the sword with us. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good luck. Gree, what are you what are you doing in the room as Nadim has pillaged the sword from the tomb?
Do we have any leftover sacks or containers that we can put any more of this coinage in?
I would have thought you guys filled your pockets and bags up already before you initially left the room.
Just making sure. Okay.
Right? Okay.
So yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else in here, I'll head back through the hole.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the party reconvenes, reconnoiter to the sarcophagus room. And Misa is actually sitting next to Zarak with her eyes down in in her fig bowl. She's actually pretty adorable when you actually look at her. Tiny little thing with like I said, bronze olive skin with her brown and white cobras for hair. She has what's left of her dress that is again of this white linen. Her doll, Moo, as the name comes out, with the green haired Gorgon dolly with the red dress. And no, she's just got her eyes down in her little copper bowl there with the figs in it. She's just hanging out with Zarak. As
Right.
he's, oh fuck, he feels like shit.
Yeah, we should
Seeing her.
probably.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Bree.
I was gonna say, we should probably get some shut eye so that we can get out in the morning.
Yeah, Zarak's just lying back with his just head against the wall, just eyes closed, just holding his hand out.
Nadim will actually mark the water skin he put the phosphorus in, saying "Do not drink."
It's a great idea.
DND. Do not drink.
D&D. Do not drink. Yep, right. There you go. With that, I guess you guys bed down. Who does the first watch?
Nadim will.
No, Nadim. Well, okay.
Seeing Miza's actual state of dress, seeing her like actually like there.
Oh yeah, no, this
He's-
poor thing is quite literally in what would equate to be the poor girl's underwear.
He will actually take off his cloak and wrap it around her.
She now has a toga.
I would say she pretty much swims in that thing. Considering his height versus her height, we probably have enough if she wants that I could tear off some to make her the like turban / eye mask thing.
Okay.
If she's
What's
willing.
your cloak made out of?
I'm assuming just linen.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
It just would have been a simple light cloak, yeah.
go with that then.
But that way, because I was going to give her my hood, but we're using that to have the sword currently under wraps. So,
Okay.
but they will actually see the fact that he is in reed armor now because he doesn't have his cloak on anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He still has his cowl and mask, so they can't see any of that, but they see his body now.
Okay.
So yeah, he'll wrap her up, have her go to bed. and
Go
he'll
to
keep
sleep,
watch,
girl.
Right?
God damn. All right. Okay. So, I don't know. Do we get jumped in the middle of the night? The first
Probably.
watch
Probably.
passes uneventfully,
That
Who
fourth
takes-
mummy comes out of the back room somehow anyway.
right? Who takes the second watch?
That'd be me.
Does Grease watch? Yes, Grease watch passes uneventfully. And Zarak, the last watch before dawn. Everyone dies. I'm kidding. No, the night passes entirely uneventfully. When the cockerel crows from a village that we have no idea where from, you guys wake up and Misa is not in the sarcophagus anymore. She took the cloak into the sarcophagus and probably cocooned herself up in the sarcophagus in the cloak for much of the evening. And when you guys go and have a peek in there, son of a bitch, the girl's not there. And soon because two of the party are dads. When a daughter goes missing, obviously the parental holy shit, where's the kid? And happens. And we have what color is Nadim's cloak? I think, or is it brown?
Black. It's
Was it
black.
black?
All of
We
his stuff
have-
is matte black.
Okay. So you're guys he's trying to figure out where the hell she is, and we have a little black Jawa walk into the room with you guys.
That's so cute.
She's got the thing like up over her, so she can see like out, but she's tiny.
Okay. As
She's
an
like
aside,
around.
Misa now needs to be an NPC in our next Star Wars campaign. I don't care. Needs to be a little tiny Jawa in a black cloak. I don't care.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
she sports this cloak like a fucking princess, and she walks around like she owns the place, not a care in the fucking world. Yeah, he just stands there wrapped in this cloak with the hood, the makeshift hood. She just like a blanket standing there.
I guess she's ready to go.
yeah, right?
Yep.
Don't you scare me like that.
I didn't go far. The sun's up though.
You look very good in that.
Her tiny voice giggles under that cloak, and she runs off back down the fucking hallway into the dark room. Son of a bitch, girl, no. She doesn't have shoes, so she leaves little bare foot, like, and the tracks match. So whoever runs like a deer across the desert, clearly it's her. And no, you guys break camp. The three babysitters break camp in 5 minutes, gather your things, and she meets you guys at the bottom of the stairs that go down into the tomb there. The four of you go up sky side, and that's there you go. Congratulations. You guys have rescued the Gorgon child. How do you guys want to proceed?
Well, she did mention she could show us where the hag's hut was, but by the same token, we gotta get to a town.
Yeah, I need medicine.
The closest settlement that Gree would feel comfortable enough to acquire medicine to treat sepsis. And we're just assuming this is sepsis. It could be a number of other horrible, nightmarish things. Is the city, which is about just shy of a chain away. But, Gree, you may or may not feel very confident of wanting to go back to the city where you might be a wanted man. So, but you know a guy there, and they would have all of your equipment that you could possibly need. And then some.
I explained to the group that the only place that would be large enough to have what we need, I could get into, but I can't be seen. We're gonna have to do it on the down low. But once we get into the city, then I should have reasonable protection.
Misa pipes up at this. She goes, "Why can't you be seen?"
Well, there was a tragic accident with my mentor back in the city, and they were going to investigate if it was an accident or if it was murder. And in either case, I could be held somewhat responsible.
There's a small
Not that
gasp.
I murdered him.
There's
Not
a
that I
small
did
gasp,
anything.
and she said, "Who did the thing?"
Well, we're not sure, but I escaped before I could get blamed. But in any case, I have some people in the city that can help us. We just wouldn't be able to make spectacles of ourselves.
I don't think the humans would like to see me either.
You and I, kid, we could both be hidden.
Yeah, right. She actually giggles at that. And do you actually call her kid?
Yeah.
Oh, Gree just turned into Han Solo there for a moment. Nice.
Right?
Nice.
Hey, he's kind of excited. He's not the youngest one in the group anymore. So
Right?
What's going to happen next? I love you. I know.
I know. All right. Misa walks over to Gree and she holds out her small olive-colored hand.
I'll take her hand.
Yep. She her hand is small enough to where she about all she can hold on to is like your index and your middle finger in her tiny fist. She is petite for a 9-year-old.
Okay.
As a human, she's petite for a 9-year-old.
Okay. Yeah,
She
that's
is
cute.
she is like 98% obscured by this cloak and then just one tiny hand.
Well, gentlemen, I'd say that's our cue. We need to get on the road so we can get this septus taken care of.
I would like that very much.
Misa asks, "Do you have camels?"
No.
We don't
Nope.
have camel. We have to walk. All right, you start walking then. She picks a direction and she starts walking and pulls Gree with her. Like, sweetie, where are you going?
Gently redirect.
Does anybody know where we're going?
I
Well,
mean,
Gree knows exactly where the where I think it's Tithiolis is. That's actually back down the southeast hot tradeway. About 8 days in that direction, and we're at the city gates.
Yeah, he probably doesn't have 8 days, does he?
That depends on how well Alex's dice hold out for us.
that doesn't bode well.
Don't say that out loud.
Man, look, his dice are average at best.
Look how he got here.
Yeah.
How we got here was
Let's go
narrator
check that room
discrepancy.
out.
It was narrator discrepancy. Yeah, I will actually eat this one.
You get me stabbed and then you give me sepsis.
I don't give you sepsis. Your dice give you sepsis, my friend. You can waffle on
You know that part
disapprovingly.
where that part where I was like, yeah, as long as you don't kill me from this, and then it still might happen. I might have issue with you, sir.
Ah!
We'll see in 8 to 10 game business days.
The thing is, we're gonna have a bit of a tangent this evening, just a few moments. Moonstrider was a character that Alex would be rolling on fire for weeks. This guy was fucking and winning for like 8 sessions straight, and then right at the end fails his fear test and gets his
my beautiful face.
he's scarred the
disfigured.
fuck up, and now he's got to wear a fucking cloth mask over part of it. And the corruption, of course. But no, that character was just great for the whole game. And come on, man, what happened to those dice?
Dude, I want to know where they went because these aren't the same. These aren't the same.
They can't be.
No, they're definitely not. One of them actually might be this set.
I'm gonna fast forward 2 days, and we will be on the correct side of the river, the east side of the river, or excuse me, the west side of the river, where Tithiolus actually is. I'm not gonna do like Misa drowning in the fucking river. She can actually swim. But if we're now on the correct side of the river, 2 days have passed. Zurak, we need a conditioning test for his dirty wounds and his illness, please. I shouldn't
Don't
say
mess
dirty
us up.
That's not
right.
good.
I shouldn't
good.
say dirty wounds. The bandages are clean. The bandages are expert.
I'm gonna tell you right
it's
now.
the immune system. What is it?
You want to see how bad it almost was?
What was it? There's a 1 and a God damn, dude, really?
I'm telling you, it's not. Hey, it was the so that's 8.
But I'm caring for him. So would he get a +2 then to the score?
He's fine for now.
Stage 4 sepsis, dies in D6 hours.
All right, you want me to do another roll?
No.
No, it was 1 and done. Oh boy, I thought it was like a day by day progress.
I'm gonna do it every 2 days. You're gonna have four tests, and so night of the second evening passes uneventfully. Make sure that we're going to hopefully subtract 8 days worth of provisioning by that time. We're going to advance the clock. We're still going in the direction of the city. Misa is still hanging out with you guys. She hasn't walked off, thankfully. And Alex, let's have another save.
I assume I'm not healing vitality at this point because I'm continually injured.
Yeah, roll a D8. It doesn't explode.
Okay, hold on. Let me do the math on this conditioning check real quick. It's a lot better than last time.
Okay.
14.
Oh, hey, you're actually feeling pretty all right today.
Okay. All right. And here's that D8 roll you asked for.
Yep.
6.
Reduce your max vitality temporarily by 6.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. My max, not my current, or is that
Your
both?
max. Max.
I'm just gonna put a note below this.
How much do you have current, and is there a difference between the two, max and current?
My regular is 19, so with -6, I would be at a max of 13, and I have currently 7, so I would have been at 1 if that would take off of current.
Okay, no, it's temporary. Temporary max. Illness is temporary max.
Okay. I'm just gonna make a note. 7 out of 13 currently. Temporary current.
We're testing out the rough draft of torpor damage. This is before you pass out. And you slowly waste away, and then coma, death, and all sorts of that shit nonsense. On the evening of the 6th day, make me another conditioning test.
Eh,
Keep in mind, you failed the first one, you passed the second one. We're seeing about the third and the fourth.
yeah, this third one's gonna be real iffy. That dice is a bastard. You're going away. That's the one that rolled ones both times now.
If this was a roll low system, you'd be
I'd be
crushing.
killing it.
Except that would be the time he'd be rolling 8s and 7s all day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, that's total of 10.
Roll me a d8.
Oh. 3.
No, you're of 10 of max.
Oh boy.
Now, we are at the city gates. Gree, what's the plan?
All right. I would say as we're coming up on the city gates,
The
we're
city
gonna
watch at the gates has not seen you. I'm gonna say you guys are on like a distant sand dune, and you're watching like the ant trail go into the city. Picture an ancient Egyptian city. When they build a fortress, they build a damn fortress. This is a permanent settlement with 30-foot thick walls. How are we getting in?
All right. So we should have some type of unique story for the four of us. Since we're walking in without any obvious goods or means, do we want to say that we're refugees or that we were with somebody and we got attacked? Or do we want to just keep it low key?
I mean, we could literally say one of our people are injured. He got an infection. We wouldn't be lying.
No, there we go. What if they ask where we came from?
Well,
Could
we could
tell
tell
him you
him.
found me wandering the sands. Maybe my tribe
well.
was destroyed or something.
Well, here's the other thing. Where's the village I met you at? What happened to said village I met you at?
Rafe, how far away was that village?
From where you guys are currently? Couple chains. It was in the opposite direction.
But it'd be a place that we came from. And he needs attention outside the normal expertise of your Podunk village. This is the only place we could think to go. Technically
right.
not lying. We're simply omitting the course of events.
So the last time we were at the village, you know, it was destroyed. I don't know if word has gotten back here yet about this.
Well, if not, then we give them news, and if it has, then they know we're at least partially telling the truth.
Okay. Let's do it then.
Wait, sorry, so we're informing them that it's destroyed, or are we saying we
If we get asked enough questions or someone says where we're from, we can tell them about the village being destroyed.
okay. Could also say we came from it, and we could say it was intact when we left. But or we could say that we went there for supplies and they were destroyed.
That's simply the last place we came from, and it was destroyed. What I'm
Yeah,
going with
just-
anyway.
Yeah, I would just say that we got back to that village that we, you know, were acquainted with, and when we got back, it was destroyed, completely erased.
Hmm.
I'll let you lads do the
Are-
talking.
Are you guys conversing? I suppose, like, you know, I mean, you're not like hiding this from Misa, are you?
No.
There's
Oh. Okay. She pipes out and she goes, "Why don't we just use the docks? Agree can't be seen by the guards. Why don't we just go through the docks? The river's right there."
Is there any flaw to that plan?
Are you asking her that?
No, I'm kind of asking the group. I'm like, that seems like a good idea.
She pipes up again. She goes, "Well, there's a smuggler that is his name is Meridian that that works with my mommy and my daddy, and he uses the docks all the time. I don't know where, but I stayed up late one night and they were talking to my mom, and he said that he knew a way to get into the human city that was under the docks, and he said it was by the river under a wall, and the humans didn't know about it. Because if they did, the humans would have patched the hole in the wall a long time ago."
She's
That
a
sounds
better adventurer than us.
an awful lot like swimming.
We don't have to swim there. It's just under the wall near the river. It's not underwater.
Oh,
Can you show
Yeah.
us the way?
Oh, I've never been here before.
Hmm.
Oh, she's actually holding Nadim's hand right now. She kind of
Well,
takes
we can-
turns. She holds everyone's hands depending on the day.
we can certainly head that way and start kind of searching around.
We just
Yeah,
need to make it quick.
She said Madryden was he's a thief that works with the other humans sometimes, and he kills people. He kills people for money. Apparently he makes a lot of money.
Nadine just kind of like shift the eyes around for a second.
He had a really pretty sword that was gold. I haven't seen him in a while. And he wears a gray mask with snake teeth on it. Maybe we'll see him. I don't know.
But he's
But
a
he
human?
knows me. What's that, Alex?
But he's a human?
No, he's a Gorgon.
Okay. That's good to know.
What was his name again?
Madryden. Here we go. I'll put it in chat for you. There's in chat. But no, she just like waits there, little black Jawa waiting for someone to lead her down to the river.
I say we head to the river then.
She's got the cloak because it's like voluminous and wrapped around her. It's basically a toga. She's got like she never gave the figs and the bowl back. Apparently that's hers now. And
That's fine. That's fine.
she's got like the cloak like kind of like doubled up in a way where she's created a pocket with the hood and the body cavity underneath the cloak. So the only skin that's being shown is that she's holding onto your thumb. And yeah, no, she's kind of like in the crook of her elbow there. And she follows wherever you guys want to go.
Yeah, no, Nadim will walk down to the water.
Head to the river. Yep.
On a sandbar, about 100 yards out there in the river, which is actually moving at a pretty good clip as you guys are close to the ocean now. There's about 100 crocodiles out there on that sandbar. Their mouths open, sunbathing. There's a bunch of scales. You guys are kind of in a palm grove here, like semi-wild. You can follow the river's edge to the city walls. It's got like where the uh where the wall meets the river, it kind of goes out there about 10 feet and like just goes into the sea. If you look straight up, it looks like there's a tower with a cap up there to keep the sun off. You can't actually see anyone from this angle on the wall, but again, these are formidable Yathite fortifications. If you are there, kind of where the water and the wall meet, it's pretty sandy, it's pretty grassy around here. There's nobody for a couple miles here. You out in the deeper sections of the river, you see fishing ships sailing by the triangular shape like single-masted fishing vessels. You'll see war barges out there, just sailing ships coming by, coming and going. But it's a rather gorgeous day out in the desert, and here on the coast, it's quite pleasant. And Misa is just looking around, taking all the sights and the sounds in under her voluminous cloak. Yeah, no, she's waiting to be led on somewhere.
Nadim will actually kind of like pass Miza's hand off to whichever one of those two is closest and she wants to attach to. Because he's going to try to find this entrance.
She'll go to Zarok, and she'll stand listening like right next to his like it. You feel her body like right next to your thigh. She's gonna like right up against there.
Get up in there.
I put my arm around her shoulder a little bit.
Okay.
Slight hiss from the snakes.
Right. Mm-hmm. What is Nadim and Gree up to?
I will just kind of keep an eye out, make sure that we're not being noticed.
Okay. One of you is a lookout, one of you is actually infiltrating.
Yes.
Yep.
Nadim's been in and out. I don't know if Nadim's ever been through this city extensively, or if he even
I
knows of this
I would
catch that she's
hope you
talking about.
have. I would hope that
Okay.
you have been to the city. This is
One of the big ones.
yeah.
Okay. So Nadim possibly knows about this entrance then.
Make me an academics test. I don't know that you do.
24.
You have heard of a thief highway that's supposed to be down by the river, but everyone seems to be pretty tight-lipped about it. This is to put things into perspective for you, Mike. This is no, Tithiolus would be to Thorana if Thranlanath is to Aurum.
Okay.
Thranlanath is actually what the Ebon folk call Felport. That's what their people call their city.
Right. Okay. No, he'll go based off of the rumors he heard as well as the fact of I'm sure he's probably been to at least one dock city that has a hidden entrance, and they're probably somewhat similar.
Okay.
So he does have swim if need be, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. And he's going to try to stay away from the crocodiles if he can help it, because that's a lot of snappy snaps.
It's not a lot of teeth. There's a lot of fucking dinosaurs out there on that sandbar. Those aren't crocodiles. Those are dinosaurs.
Fucking dinosaurs.
Minimum. The smallest one is 14 foot long.
Yeah, right.
Dang.
I know, right? Steve Irwin is going, oh, chef's kiss.
Right.
In the grave. Rest in peace, Steve.
Crikey, she's a beaut.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to roll for this?
I need you to make an awareness test. If you're examining the wall there. All you've heard of, besides what Misa said, is it's by the river. It's half obscured, and there's something to do with the water. It's not underwater, but
To do with the water.
yeah.
16.
16? Okay. Your search takes you out into about hip deep water. Like hip, upper thigh deep water. And it's fucking cold here. Despite the sun, it's right there. It's cold, and you're following, and it's broad daylight out. It's broad daylight, and like you're snaking around, like maybe if your back is to the wall and you're kind of like sidestepping, snaking, and you've got your left hand probing the wall ahead of you until you find that lip that actually goes around. You'll actually feel a lip there, and you'll like sidestep and actually like peek. You'll actually like kind of peek around with that lip, and there's actually a crumbling, like a triangular, gap in the wall where possibly the outer palisade is like sloughing away slightly, and you could get a few bodies like sidestepping down there. I mean, obviously, someone's going to have to carry Misa on their shoulders, but you could actually, you're about your hip and or groin deep in the water, and you actually get your arm, hand, forearm, elbow, and you actually like take a side step because it just like gets you real goddamn deep here, and you find with your left foot, you're snaking around in the water, and you find a ledge there. You put your foot on that ledge, and you're like, oh shit, I can actually, this will actually support my weight. And us on the bank see Nadim step and he shifts his weight and he fucking disappears. Like there's almost an optical illusion there with the wall, the water, the tall grass, and he takes a step, he shifts his weight, and behind the curve he goes, he vanishes. And the rest of us are kind of going, huh. And Nadim, you're now in the dark, in the shade, and you hear the echoes of the inner city, like coming down this crack here. You've got on your left-hand side, the inner wall, the granite inner wall that's which would essentially be like primitive concrete, stone, concrete, sand all smashed together, so it can repel siege. And then on the right-hand side, white marble for the cosmetics. And if you look up, if that shit falls, you're a goner.
Right. All right.
Because that is thousands upon thousands upon thousands of tons of white marble right there.
Right. Nadim will he'll go down the way. He kind of wants to see like Kyle just whines so he can let them know.
As you're going through, if you got to keep your back up against that wall, and as you stepped around, it actually kind of gets jagged there, and you got to press. Excuse me, for the theater of the mind, you got to press your back and your ass up against the wall to not fall the fuck into the drink right there, because it's from here. It's just pitch black. There's just water down there because clearly it's erosion and excuse me, it's eroding and dark. So you're kind of like shimmying, sidestepping, shimmying as conversations are kind of echoing down this crack. And how far do you go? You just go to the end of this grotto, essentially.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where it actually opens back up, like
Okay.
into the city, because I basically want to go back to them. One, to see if Zarok can even make it because he's armored up and he's bigger. But two, so I can actually tell them, okay, watch your step here, sidestep here, because if we just all go in blind, one of us is probably going to die, especially when we have Mizo on our shoulders.
Okay.
So yes, he will go as far as he can until he can like literally be like, if I step out here, I'm now on a city block. Okay, now I'm going to go back and tell the others.
Okay, guys, he's gone for about a half hour. As you're winding through what like bits and pieces of this crack, you're like, wow, how the hell did these people like somehow they have forgotten about this section of the wall, and there is leavings of a great many people, possibly seedy as fuck people, who have used this for quite some time, and this is just a forgotten section of the wall that's kind of sort of half crumbling. And you're gone. Like I said, you're gone for about a half hour, and you before you get there, you step out onto maybe a section of the lower docks that kind of butts right up against the outer wall. There's no curtain wall here. There's like no outer palisade. It's just one large brick, or like it's testament and credit where credit is due. The Egyptians and the Yathites, when they build a settlement, god damn it, do they build a settlement? If Helm's Deep was partially aquatic, ooh, here you are. You before you step out into the sunlight of the inner city, there you are.
Okay. He's actually not going to step out. He will look out to basically see like how busy it is.
Okay.
But he doesn't want to step out just because he doesn't want to get caught of step out. Oh crap! Someone comes around the corner. Now I gotta wait 20 minutes before I can step back in.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to actually leave his little corridor, but you can be like, okay, this is my endpoint. Cool. Now I can go back and give them a step by step on how to get through this damn thing.
Okay.
And then he'll go back.
Rinse and repeat the entire description for the other two.
Yes. And consider the fact that The Rock is injured, he will probably offer to carry Miza because he's going to need all his concentration just to not hurt himself.
Right? She will, she'll give you her bowl. And she'll give you the half a fig that's left. She doesn't eat very much. Do you realize that she doesn't, for whatever reason, she doesn't eat very much.
Well, she's a tiny 9-year-old, yeah.
And she's a stomach of a bird. If you give her a piggyback ride, or if she just sits on your shoulders, there you go. What is the marching order?
I'm assuming I'm going first. That way they can kind of follow my lead.
I'll probably go second.
Okay.
Take up the rear.
Okay. I'm gonna say on the about 2/3 of the way through, Miza has to like squish herself down, like half on your head, leaning over, and you guys almost fall the fuck in. So I'm gonna need a reflexes save. Because
Is there anything I can do with like my spear to balance or push off of anything, or is this a big open space?
for you, you can't assist them on a save. But
No, like
you're
can I prop myself up in any way?
you can
I'm
said-
worried
prop yourself up on the opposite wall if you will. You can give yourself a boost with the spear.
Also, you
Like-
said reflexes save, right?
Yes,
Can I use
balance.
balance?
Yeah, balance. Excuse me. Reflexes would be evasion. Yeah, balance.
Fuck's
So that would be
sake.
2d8 plus our reflex score, reflex
Just-
bonus.
Just Mike right now.
Oh, thank God. I swapped dice and it's still dog shit. So
Alex,
no,
what are you
roll
doing
didn't
tomorrow?
count. That roll,
Alec, what are you
burning
do-
dice.
I want you to come to the house. I have a set of dice for you. I'm giving you the carrots, and you will be using them.
24.
24. Okay. So the two of you don't fall into the drink, but she like squishes herself down, and as it turns out, her tiny hands go over your face as she tries not to fall off.
I will offer to her if she wants to kind of do the whole like koala grip and actually like grab a hold of like my waist and like underneath my arms and like bear hug me.
She's got a kind of a death grip on like your face and a fistful of your beard. But she's like half over. You can't obviously you're not gonna see this, but wide-eyed, trying not to fall the fuck over or fall out. But I don't think I have room. She's leaving, and she's like, fuck, you lean out and put your arm on the opposite wall there. And oh no, you guys stop yourselves from falling. But she's gonna first skill test of the NPC of the adventure. Hang on here.
Push off so we can right ourselves.
Okay. She leans the other way and then like puts her leg out and she pushes on the other wall, and you both push, and like she smacks her head on the stone wall, but she's good. You guys are like, she says, "Ow." And,
Luckily, it's like a real like voluminous, section of cloth right there, so I think she'll be okay.
right. Uh, you guys right yourselves, and you guys continue. You guys get to about 30 feet from where like that opening would be, Nadim, and there's another group of thieves that are coming out. There's like 8 of them. Of course, they're fucking they look like pirates because of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like this little like they see you, you see them, and the two groups should like freeze.
What's going on?
We have a group in front of us because they're trying to come in to get out, and we're trying to get in.
They're trying to use the same path to get out of the city, and you guys are trying to get in. So yeah, you're just kind of like, and there's this awkward pause, like we're not supposed to see each other.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No one has said anything, but that's like clearly the look written large on everyone's faces.
And like in Thieves Can, if it's light enough to see it, I'll basically sign to them. We have injured. Do we have enough space to get through? We didn't see you. You didn't see us.
Make me a burglary test.
Woohoo!
In sign language.
Don't get to use this often enough.
No. As a bunch of Drasnians are at the other end of the corridor. All right. What's going on here?
25.
25 on the thief sign language. Ah, all right. Couple of them relax in the other group, and one of the older, you assume he's one of the leaders, one of the older thieves. Now, Gree, you can kind of like peek out from behind Zarok's armored bulk there. There's just a few Yathite, clearly thieves. One of them signs back to Nadim. He goes, something, sign language, something along the lines of, he goes, "You have wounded. Well, we're trying to leave. So,
What's the name of my contact in the city?
what is the name of your contact?" Did you forget to write up that NPC?
I didn't write up the NPC.
Oh, Terry.
I had the background. I was ready for that.
I know, right? You don't have a name. You have a guy, but you haven't spoken. He's not your contact anymore. Shame on you.
Right.
we
Wow.
gotta keep up with our friends, man.
Meanwhile, it's actually written down that it's the same one that Mizra knows.
Oh, no, right. No, it's not Madryden. No, I'm not giving you guys a Gorgon assassin for his contact. Fuck that. No. So he says, "You have wounded." All right, well, where are you taking them?
I want to tell Nadim, sign to them that we're friends of.
Bree, you have burglary. You can sign to them.
But I'm far back.
Yeah, he's way in the back. Yeah.
Oh, well, sign language just needs eye contact.
Sure,
line of sight.
up there.
It's up to Gree if he wants to, but if you want to actually tell him verbally, like sign on the cat.
I think it just makes sense if I told him verbally. Tell him that we're friends.
Go for it, absolutely.
Tell them that we're friends with. Give me a name, someone.
Oh, you don't. Come on, man. All right.
All right.
We're gonna say that you
I'm looking
don't.
for Maldroon
Okay. Looking for a
'Cause-
guy named Maldroon.
because that's the merchant that I met that I know is part of the circle.
You only know him
Okay.
as Gray Mark.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
Maldroon was the Turanian merchant who allegedly,
Yeah,
wink, wink, is
and
part of the
also
thing.
I'll tell them that one of our people has sepsis from an infection, and it's really not looking good. So the quicker the better.
So do you answer his question like, oh, where are you taking them?
Well, just somewhere with proper medical supplies because he's going to die probably within hours.
I'd say drop my friend's name.
Yeah, I'll drop the name that I don't have the name of.
Right. We'll go over your contact after the session, Terry.
Yeah.
We'll go with the merchant, the thief merchant that Nadim met. Okay. So, just to clarify, in the conversation, you have signed that you have wounded, and
Gravely injured.
they have signed, well, you have wounded, or you have ill, you have sick party members, and he's asked, well, where are you taking them? And you haven't signed back yet.
Well, yeah, I basically would have just telling them the closest person with the right supplies to fix him. He is sick inside. Infection.
Well, he has an infection. So he signs back. Oh, he has an infection. Well, don't take them to the college because there's some bad business at the guild. He doesn't say the college. Don't take them to the guild because there's some bad business with the guild, and the place is in an uproar.
Okay, I'll do that.
And a couple of them are just kind of whispering to themselves. And one of them, you see in the throng of thieves, he goes back. He peeks back and he pulls like a sail, a ship sail back, and he looks, and he like really stage whispers to one of his fellows, and this group like backs up and goes out beyond this sail. Usually, you assume this is a ship sail, and like they're gone.
Fucking disappears.
Hmm.
As soon as they do that, I'm gonna like go up to where that sail is. I'm gonna pull back to see like what is back there. Be like, oh, side trail, cool.
They're like waiting back there, and they're like,
Oh, it's just a
"Ah."
hiding spot. Okay,
Yeah,
Oh.
they're getting out of your way.
all right.
They
I only
salute you,
won.
and as soon as Gree passes, these 8 guys are like fuck off behind you.
Right.
You had a bit
I
of
tell-
a traffic jam.
Right.
They pulled back. You guys went forward. And they
As I passed by and I saw them there, I would have told the leader, I see you again. I owe you a drink for the group.
he just nods like dramatically in the dark, like everyone saw.
Fuck yeah, free drinks.
These that they fuck off. They're gone.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and then I'll make sure it's clear out there and then I'll fucking step out.
All right. Congratulations. You've made it to Tithiolis here in the lower dock quarter. And now we are going to close the session with the first soliloquy of the evening. Agree, would you take us away? Tell us of the excitement of the past week.
All things considered, I would say this was a pretty successful last few days. The fact that nobody was injured or killed aside from the septis that we're going to be taken care of. I would say that I'm doing a lot of observing of the Gorgon and feel pretty good about the relationship that we have with Misa, and hope that we can parlay this into some good graces with Gorgons, because I think there would be a great opportunity to learn a lot more academically about these people. We've done pretty well with stocking our supplies. I know we're running probably pretty low, but we also have an undetermined amount of coinage with us that we'll have to get some amounts on to help us restock. So yeah, I'd say that things might be looking up as long as I can keep out of sight and try to get us to my friend.
Perfect. Zarak, how you doing over there, buddy?
It's a familiar situation. He is injured, and from injury comes a little extra hardship on the road. He's used to it, but it's it gets frustrating after a while. You're like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to wander the sands and make my way out in the world, and then you're injured again. He's just looking to hang in here, I guess. It really it's a minute by minute thing with Zarak.
And with that, we'll go to Nadim.
Nadim is actually happy to be out of the desert. He is back in a city where, quite honestly, he tends to thrive. He, of course, well, unless she wants to stay up there because he doesn't really mind, he'll probably put Misa down as soon as they get into like the actual walking path. Otherwise, if she wants to stay up there and kind of just enjoy the ride, that's fine. He wants to try to find someone who can help Zarak as quick as possible, just because the boy doesn't seem to be doing well, and unfortunately, our little one seems to have taken a liking to all three of us. So I feel like to lose one of us would probably break her heart, and we don't want that right now.
Nope.
Don't need a little Gorgon girl crying. That's not good. He is glad that his cloak is working out fine. He does feel slightly naked without it. So he wants to also get a new one as soon as he can, as well as a new hood. He also needs to go find a shrine or temple with priests, because he is pretty sure that the equipment in that one bag from the mummies is not supposed to be touched by bare hands or bare skin, and he wants to get those taken care of. But right now, he is simply happy to be back in town. He hopes that they can hopefully have an uptick in their fortune between that and the coinage. And then he wants to go about finding her family again so they can give her back.
Excellent. Misa is content to sit on Nadim's shoulders, and she is all Gorgons seem to have this need for obscuring anonymity. They're the majority of mortals of Arklanar see a Gorgon as a monster to be reviled and or slain for its goodies, and to chop them up for parts, and many a sorcerer would pay their finest coinage for Gorgon parts. So a a toga-like wrap that obscures all of her is something of akin to armor or a comfort blanket or anything else that could serve as a a temporary replacement for a mask. And Misa was in a very bad way before the guys came along and rescued her from the crypt. That hag was seemingly working with this demon cult to abduct people of the varying tribes to or villages, and this hag was attempting to be another avenue so these people could acquire slaves, and they can't acquire slaves legally by going into cities. They would buy up hundreds and hundreds of slaves, and that would start to be becoming very suspicious for a demon worshipping cult. So when this little Gorgon girl was spirited away from her family for reasons that only the hag knows, the hag was hired by this elephant demon worshipping cult to assist them, and for whatever monetary gain the hag would reap from this. Misa has spoken little of this arrangement because she doesn't know the exact details, but she will shudder and whimper at the remembrances of this hag wanting to suck her eyeballs out and eat them, and turn her into little Gorgon girl stew. Horror of horrors, a little, effectively, again, a 9-year-old child, tiny little thing that she is. There's a monster under my bed and it wants to eat my goddamn eyeballs. Yeah, that typical sort of thing. And with the guys there, she's inherited 3 possibly pretty cool older brothers, and she kind of clings to the 3 of you like a little lost girl in the desert would. And with that, we will bring session 4 of the Crypt of the Elephant to a close. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back next week. Good night, all.